Dude, did you hear Ed Inger's car? It's like just the left ear. How weird is
Yeah,
that? It's in the left lane, it's just the left ear.
yeah.
Crazy. Anyways. All right, well, guys, hey, welcome to episode 128 of the Drag Drive Repeat Show, presented by Summit Racing tonight. Short circuit updates, who's coming, where we're going, and what we're doing. It's gonna be crazy. And Devin Vanderhoof, we're giving him 90 minutes. We're going to talk about his new S550 Drag and Drive build. We're going to talk about Goldstone's Corvette and Javelin, Cleetus's Mullet, Motion Raceworks Pumpkin Spice Mustang. And there's a really cool topic during the Detroit segment that I really want you guys to stick around for. That's probably sometime around 9 or 9:15 Eastern time tonight. So, or for the folks watching this later, a little more than an hour into the show. So, Mr. Eric White, hit that intro. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's do it.
Mr. Eric, I want to talk to you about that intro video there. Did you see Tom Bailey change lanes? You saw that,
Yes,
right? Okay. Do you know that that's the only pass in drag and drive competition that car has made all year?
I did not actually. That's
How
interesting.
how crazy is that?
That is kind of wild.
I didn't realize that until watching that right there. I was like, "Oh my god." It made one pass, and then of course at that point he was going for fives at sick week, so he wasn't going to get it because they only got one pass on day one of sick week. So he parked that car and bought the car that he took the rest of the week in the exhibition stuff with Cleetus, and then did it again in six summer. So
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah, that's interesting. I wonder. Obviously, it'll be back for sick week, but I
Oh
wonder if
yeah,
anything else.
yeah. Surely he's got. I mean, dude, if he doesn't get it at sick week, I mean, he's got to be coming for six summer or drag week. One of the two. He wants a five badge, just like everybody in that top level tier wants a 5 second pass. All right, sideline there. Sideline. I don't know where we were going with that. Did see my mom in here, Miss Susan Goff, short saying that she's excited about coming to the short circuit. Y'all, I have hosted more than 50 car events, like literally hosted myself 50 car events. And this will be the first drag and drive that my mom's been to. She's been to it's maybe the first drag race she's been to a couple of my car shows and cruise night, things like that. But this will be the first drag and drive for her and her husband Will, and I'm gonna ruin them. So they don't have a like fast project car right now. They have my grandfather's, my mom's dad's 78 Toyota pickup. I guarantee that thing's going to be getting some kind of upgrades once they get home, or they're going to find some other car to build. So, Mama, you're welcome. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to hang out. All right. Well, if you guys don't know, my name is Mike Narx. I'm the host of this show and the news that happens on Saturday mornings. I'm also addicted to drag and drive, bro. It's like it has engulfed my life this week. I've thought about nothing but the short circuit and how we're going to do this and how it's going to come about and what the future holds for this event and all that kind of stuff. So that's who I am. But y'all, my right hand man, Mr. Right here, Eric White, he's been busy as hell. Tell him what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news. Typically, everything drag drive repeat related, artwork, photos, the circuit, anything like that. But right now, as you guys know, I've been hammering away at 6 summer photos. Just posted before the show. I think it was part 5 of day 1 or something at Byron. So
Yeah.
we've got a couple more. I think there's 2 more parts to day 1 at Byron, and
Dude,
then
you're
we're
crazy.
moving on to route stops for day 1, and there's a ton of photos for that as well. So
Yeah, bring it
Might
on. Well, I can't wait. We're going to talk about that in a minute. How many the published photo count for Six Summer is insane already.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys know, you've been around for a minute, you know that we love our race car friends around here. The biggest thing that helps us is you guys. Really, I tell you, I've spent some late nights this week. This time change ruins me for about a week, and so I've spent some late nights just working through stuff, man. I'm trying to get a ton of stuff ready for PRI and some big announcements we have there, and so it's just been this crazy chaos. And I just want to give a shout out to all of our race car friends and say thank you so much for. There's not an hour of the day that goes by that there's not somebody making a comment on something we've done. I just appreciate you guys so much, and y'all really do help keep this thing moving along. And of course, our sponsors. We can't do this without them. Summit Racing, who's at SEMA and World Cup Finals right now. Taking on two different parts of the country. It's crazy. Deechworks, who's out at SEMA with a huge thing. Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams. Big shout out to Luke B. Him and I messaged back and forth today. J-Wire Solutions. I love you, Jay. I can't wait to see you guys at PRI. AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, and of course, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina with the best hand cleaning wipes on the market, and Racing Junk Classified 2 literally built out an entire drag and drive section just for us here in the drag and drive community. So appreciate all you guys doing all that stuff. Won't you answer that question for Aaron Roberts there?
Yep, this will be, I think we got this a little bit later, but it is going to be booth 4611. So we are kind of down in the yellow main area, just down from Summit, actually right next to AFCO.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be awesome being there. Speaking of Summit, did you know that their speed legacy began in 1968, almost 60 years ago? One
As
dude,
a
one man startup. That's freaking awesome. Now it's the World Speed Shop, 4 facilities, 200 plus catalog editions. Summit fuels your passion, saves you money, delivers fast, and offers top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, especially this week. Our boy Justin Wiedemann out there absolutely crushing it for Summit at SEMA right now. You can also tune into the On All Cylinders podcast, which had another episode drop yesterday for automotive discussions like what you got here. From humble origins to the social media lean, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. And of course, you can find everything at summitracing.com or click on our website, and every Summit branded button takes you right through there with our affiliate link. So one thing we really didn't notice until the last couple of weeks here, and you brought it to my attention, was Summit has like featured content creators. I don't know how we missed that. But I'll tell you, this featured content creator, I didn't even know existed. How bad is that of me? Like, this is a pretty good dude. Like, and from what it looks like, the videos I've watched, looks like he has a ton of fun, bro. This is like the kind of guy we need to look at. We need to hang out with this guy.
Yeah.
Junkyard Gigs is their featured content creator this week, and man, big shout out to him. Looks like he's having a ton of fun and just out there digging around in the junkyards and finding cool stuff, building cool cars, and that's what everybody should want to do. I guess
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what I want to do for sure. So pretty cool of them. And then of course the affiliate program, guys, just can't say enough. It helps us while you are doing the same thing, the discount codes, the sales, the clearance items, all that kind of stuff works the same way it should. You just jump on dragdriverpete.com, look for a Summit branded, Summit sticker on there or a picture, I guess, or a link on our website. Anywhere, it's on every page. You just click on it, takes you right to Summit Racing. So pretty cool stuff. And while you're in there, definitely grab you the old Drag Driver Pete merch, which I don't think are either one of us wearing Drag Driver Pete merch.
I've got the circuit on today.
Oh, nice. You can't buy that on summitracing.com yet, but there is talks about fun stuff coming to there from events. So bring it on.
You can get some awesome Crocs,
bro.
Yeah,
I love
you
those
guys
things, man.
You guys are going to get sick of me talking about these things, but they are truly awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to.
Did you just take that off your foot?
Maybe. Maybe. But
smell-o-vision, man.
You need to run out to the mailbox and get the mail real quick. Slide these things on. get
Yeah.
there super quick. You need to go to the grocery store. You want to get in and out of the grocery store quick. Throw on these Crocs. You'll be flying through there.
Yeah. Turbos, baby. Well, let's talk about some drag driver Pete updates, sir. Lead us into this first part here.
Yeah, so been talking about Six Summer stuff. Six Summer Day One album is starting to get full. 270 photos in there already, which I think was that
That's
as
probably
of this
light.
afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that may have even missed your most recent update, your most recent post.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just uploaded like 50 something tonight. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
we're gonna be probably up over 300. 2 more days of actual track photos, which is probably about another 100, and then we get into traveling between Byron and the route stop. So there's a ton of photos there as well. So Dad and I had pulled over a bunch of places and caught people driving down the highway. That first route stop, it's forgetting the name, but it's the brewery. Sat out there and caught a ton of cars coming in there. So there is still a lot of photos yet to come. And again, this is day one. So
That's
there's still
crazy.
4 more days of photos to drop. So we'll be dropping photos for a while. My goal is to just keep dropping, 50 something a day. I think that's a safe number that everybody can scroll through and not
Mhm.
have to scroll through 300 photos. 50 seems like a good number. You can tag people in there, let everybody see pictures of their cars. So hopefully you guys are liking that number because it feels like it works better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
Doug,
then
you're saying killer pictures, guys. Guys, no, that's that dude right down there. He just crushed it, bro.
appreciate that. So day zero, that's already fully updated. There was 295 photos from that day. So we're already past that with day one. Obviously, day zero is just tech in and everything, but still
Mhm.
almost 300 photos from that day. So each day is going to have its own album. That is the way I like to organize them. That's the way that we've kind of decided is the best way. I'm really debating on if we do the like route stops as a separate album just because there is so many photos, but I
Mm.
think dropping them at 50, I think it kind of allows everybody to see it. So we might keep them all in the same, but for sure there'll be day 0 through day 5 albums on
Yeah.
Facebook. That's where you can see all the photos. They are uploaded there.
Yeah, I truly think if you're willing to do the time, I think it's probably best to split that up. You know, the drive and route days or route stops as their own album, just because man, there's a lot of times where folks are just looking for that piece, and that's you were the leader on that. That you were the driver behind the albums and all that stuff, and it really helps me as I'm going back looking for photos for whatever I'm posting about for Drag Drive Repeat. If I know that somebody was at Drag Week 2024, I can go back to Drag Week 2024 day 0 through 5 and I can scroll through just those photos instead of having to go through 5,000 photos that we've posted up since the last time since drag week last time. Now you got to go through. So we're one of the only folks that do that. I know 1320 does that, and it really helps a ton when you're trying to find that specific photo. It kind of helps save all that time. Plus, when we get old and Facebook is on our glasses and we're trying to find stuff, that will help a lot. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Plus, if like if you broke and you're only at track one or even whatever, you can go to that day and find pictures. So, and
Yeah.
then a lot of times I'll post kind of teasers before we even start dumping photos in general. So if you've seen a photo that you liked and you're looking for more, you might go, okay, oh, there was a cool photo from Byron that he posted. That's got to be either day 1 or 5. It kind of allows you to zone in on where those might be, and I think it just helps everybody find them easier.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, you're doing a great job. Killer stuff. I love it. That's photos is not my thing. I'm a video guy, and you are crushing it on photos, and I'm not crushing it on videos. Got to get back to some of that after the short circuit. I promise y'all. Next up, dude, we're 36 days from the Dragon Drive Awards. 36 days. We have one more national level Dragon Drive event to run through, and then I'll be able to sit for tens of hours and sift through things to give away more than 20 different awards at the Dragon Drive Awards presented by Summit Racing. Guys, literally 36 days. I hope you're ready. We are room 235, December 11th, which is Thursday of PRI at 11 a.m. Make sure you get yourself to the room. We've got space for about 100, which I think that would have been capacity last year. We were over capacity. Last year had some people standing in the hallway and stuff like that. Just go ahead and set a timer now. We have an event on Drag Drive Repeat. You can look at it there on Facebook, say you're going, and then that will alert you once time gets close. So that's kind of the best way really as of right now, until we have a better way to set a calendar reminder for people is to follow it on Facebook. So as we get closer, my plan is to really begin kind of dropping some hints and things like the Drag and Drive Ambassador Awards. We do 3 of those because it's such a big area. Oh, Phil Balmaceda, hey, start that, and we'll talk about that in just a second for the short circuit. But this is a big deal to us, y'all. I mean, we invest a lot of money and time, hundreds and hundreds of hours go into the Drag and Drive Awards. All the stuff, the Drag and Drive World Championship, all the points and things like that that go along with all that. All that culminates right there at the Drag and Drive Awards. An hour. It's wild that we spend hundreds of hours a year to spend an hour together and do that. But one thing, go ahead.
I tell everybody now, download the PRI app. I think it's called PRI Show or My PRI. I can't remember. Download that. If you're going to be at PRI, you can kind of like bookmark what booths you want to attend, what events you want to go to. So, and then you'll get reminders ahead of time. So if there's, like the award ceremony, if there's like a, what do they call them? Like the teachings or the wherever you can go to. If you want to go to one of those, you can set an alert in there. So I highly recommend downloading that PRI app and start booking where you want to be, so you can kind of set your schedule for the week.
Yeah. Well, and I love the planner because there's been so many times where you're just wandering around trying to find something. So this will be our 3rd year for this. Please put it on your calendar, y'all. It means a lot to us. Plus, it's like that last real opportunity for Drag and Drive folks to kind of all be in the same area together. So pretty awesome. Lamar Swindell, unless something crazy happens, dude, you got to be there because you got to accept your reward. So a lot of stuff coming up. We've had a lot of people, I didn't put this in the notes, we had a lot of people make nominations in the Molly Motorsports Toughest Roadside Repair. That's going to be another tough decision this year. Honorable mentions get talked about in the show, but only one winner. So if you've had something break on the side of the road and you fixed it and you made it and you finished the week, talk to us. We want to know about it. All right. So let's see. What do we got here? Oh, the other thing, did I put? Yes, perfect. Okay, so booth 4611, Aaron Roberts asked about it earlier. This is twofold. So one, we have an exhibitor booth. We have to do that to get a room, but this really kind of gives a good spot, especially where we're located, for people to come in and hang out with us and talk and all that kind of stuff. So booth 4611, we're right next to AFCO Racing Products. We're literally a row and a half over from Summit Racing. So it's going to be very easy for everybody to find us. We have a 10x20 booth this year, and we are partnering up with WAF Racing. So I think it's going to be really cool having so many people come through because, dude, Chris was blown away last year at how many people, one, came by our booth, but then two, like how many people were interested in his stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why he signed up. So we're looking at, if you missed the opportunity this year to come in and do a booth with us as one of our partners, definitely talk to us about next year. I'm willing to go to a 10x30. That was our original plan, was to go 10x30 and then really kind of separate it up into like 4 different areas. But our plan is to bring a table and some chairs and hang out and do live streams like we always have been. So booth 4611, if you have a story to tell, we need to know now, because we need to start scheduling those out. We want to promote that. We want to put that on the schedule for PRI, under special guest appearances, things like that. So if you have that kind of stuff, do it. If you have access to David Freiberger, we would love to have him come to the booth. David Freiberger, booth 4611. We want you, buddy. We want to talk about the early days of Drag and Drive and what you think about the growth since then. But one of our biggest ones, and I will be building the event later tonight, Redwood Rally will be releasing the tracks and dates for the 2026 event on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, live from our booth at PRI. I want to say thank you to them for doing this. They could put that out right now, but they're waiting 36 days to give us that, and let us have that opportunity to really put that out there and be a part of the announcing of a huge drag and drive event that is going to be around for a long time. So big shout out to them. Same things.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of big news at PRI, we have a huge announcement for the race car friends that we're going to release at PRI. So more clues and details coming over the next few weeks, but this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, you're going to need to be watching the Drag Drive Repeat page, because this is going to be stuff going to be hidden within other posts. This is a pretty big deal, and it's been a ton of stuff working back behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome for all of our race car friends that are out there. All right, man, let's move on. The short circuit, dude, 2 days from now. When the heck did that happen? How did we get so close already?
2 weeks ago when you thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not very smart, but I want to play this video real quick. It's a reel that's going to go up later, but it's 38 seconds, and I just wanted to. I wonder if we can talk while I was playing. Yeah, perfect. So these are the folks that are coming. So for you guys that are watching this at home, these are also things that are going to be posted. This event came out of nowhere. To be honest, it was really, I blame it all on Eric. To be honest with you, it was not supposed to happen. I wasn't going to do 2 events a year. I put it up. If we could get 40 cars, hey, we'll do it. Dude, we're sitting at 64 cars right now, and I've had 3 or 4 other people message saying, hey, I'm coming. I'm just going to sign up on Friday.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're going to end up somewhere around, I hope we can end up somewhere around 60 cars total by the time we get done. It's awesome for us to have one last opportunity to kind of hang out with all of our friends in a really laid back. This is way different than the circuit. We're not doing it's not this big crazy, big show, right? It's a fun time. I'm actually going to be walking around talking to people and all that kind of stuff. But it's really, man, I think at this point we're probably going to have 2 of these every year now. I think that's probably what it is. So we're at 64 cars. Do you want to tell them what I'm going to do for people that are pre-registered?
Yep. So there is going to be a drawing for a free entry to the Circuit 2026 for the racers that are pre-registered. Cutoff for pre-registered drawing is Friday morning. So if you want to have an opportunity to be guaranteed a free spot into the Circuit 2026, get pre-registered. Friday morning is when that cutoff date is.
So that gives people like 36 hours from right now to do that if they want to, or maybe 54 hours, whatever, 60 hours from right now to do that if they want to. I highly recommend it. One, it's just going to be so much easier when you get to the gate. Once you get through the gate, we'll be able to do all the easy stuff and get wristbands and all that kind of stuff. But for the folks that don't pre-register, that is completely fine too. We're going to take you up until 8 p.m. Friday night. You will actually pay your tech card entry and your co-pilot entry at the gate, and then I'll just discount that from your entry for this short circuit. So it'll be easy. Don't worry about paying 2 days. Don't worry about paying the full thing at the gate. You'll just pay there. And then route stops, I want to give an update. I dropped that list the other day in the short circuit Facebook event. The Auto Museum, look, let's support these guys. They're trying to do good things for the automotive deal. A museum's always good. It's a great route stop. But for the first 25 folks, I bought decals today to support the museum. They're giving us a discounted tour, and the first 25 people, I don't know what we're going to even be taking pictures of yet, but selfies in front of insert item here will be given, a decal from the museum. It's not anything crazy. It's a $2 decal, but hey, let's help them. Let's support them as much as we can. And then some crazy person today messaged me asking if he could do a double entry for 2 classes. You guys are crazy. You're crazy. So I said yes. Yes, you can do 2. You can double enter. That's fine by me. It's going to be $50 more. So it's going to be $200 total. And this is where it gets tough. You have to submit 4 passes each day. 4 passes per class entered. So you're going to have 2 on Friday for one class, another 2 on Friday for that class, and then 4 more on Saturday. So 8 passes total. I just completely butchered the way I explained that, but you're going to have to. It's basically going to be 2 events for you with 1 drive, just because look, you're crazy already, so you're not scared of making passes already. So eight passes submitted total. Make as many as you want or can, but you're going to have to submit 8 passes total to do double entry. So, anyways, I hope you're all happy.
Definitely disappointed that I'm not going to be at this one. It's going to be a ton of fun. This literally came up, and by the time you had everything planned out, the date was already set and just couldn't make it. But I think you guys are going to have a ton of fun. So enjoy it for sure.
And this one here, I think, just to kind of talk about it for a second, really is it came about because of the photos you posted. It came about because it's fun, but then also the track already had a Friday test and tune planned and a Saturday, what was then a test and tune / gambler race. So it's a very easy way to slide us in. Plus, it's going to help the track a ton. Having 60 entries for 2 days of racing is going to be a good deal for the track. So just so everybody knows, I'm paying retail. Whatever you would pay to come race at the track, that's what I'm paying. So the reason I did that is because I have such a good relationship. I mean, I'm basically an employee at Tulsa Raceway Park with all this, all the stuff I do. And I just wanted to help. We've had a hard year for test and tunes. I think that's going to change in 2026. But the short circuit, 2 days from now, November 7th and 8th, I think it's going to be a ton of fun and very laid back. All right. Lead us in, sir. And we're probably going to skip the part after the driven racing oil because I've talked too long.
All right. Driven racing oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you are launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods all the way to cutting-edge race machines. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages. GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And we say it all the time, drivenracingoil.com is where you can go to pick up your oil or any one of their other products. Use code DDR10 for a 10% discount. And then also follow them on social media, Facebook, Instagram at Driven Racing Oil. See what events they're going to be at, SEMA, PRI, whatever drag and drive event they're going to be at. You can head over there, talk to them, and purchase stuff on site as well.
Yep. Well, right now, dude, SEMA is going on. Big shout out to the drag and drive people that have been at SEMA talking on the hot rod stage. So lead us through all the guests that have been there this week, man, or today.
Yeah. Yep. So as you can see on the screen here, Felicia Smith, obviously a drag and drive racer there, was the Hoosier hero on stage here at the NRA kind of stage there. KJ Jones was on today talking about Hot Rod Magazine. Mike Galemi, Lonnie Grimm, sorry. Man, there's just a ton of drag and drive people all over the place at SEMA, and we're going to see a bunch of them at PRI, which is awesome.
Yep. I didn't listen to the Lonnie Grimm part, but I did listen to Mike Galemi, and he talked about Hot Rod Drag Week quite a bit in that and the growth of the sport. And of course, Brian Lone's doing the interviewing. They kind of went over all that stuff as they went. Yeah. So NHRA on YouTube is the place to find that.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. And then 4 events left for 2025. It seems weird. 2 in the US and then 2 in Australia. We got Road Trip Drag Challenge coming up 2 days from now, really probably a day and a half, starting at Lakeside, Warwick, and then Willowbank there for them. Be their 3rd event of the year.
Yeah, pretty wild. Also, November 7th, we've already talked about the short circuit at Tulsa Raceway Park. So 2 days from now.
Yep. And then Southeast Street and Yeet, of course, after that. We're going to have Devin on here in a minute. And I have a ton of notes for him, but maybe the last segment we're going to talk about Street and Yeet. There's a lot of cool stuff we're going to talk to him about. So I'm excited. That's November 11th through 15th, Shady Side Dragway, and kind of all in that North Carolina, South Carolina area.
Yep, and then rounding out November is the Central Victorian Drag and Drive number 2. This is November 13th through 15th at Charleston Airstrip in Victoria, Australia. So again, an airstrip is a little unique, but when you don't have as many tracks out there, you get creative.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. And then the last little bit here, November 2nd. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen here. November 2nd, East Coast Dragon Drive, the event that happens in the northeast part of the country for Canada there. I think it's just north of Detroit, actually. They confirmed they are hosting a 2026 event. I'm adding it to the 2026 Dragon Drive list, but I don't have a date at all. So I'm going to use their date from 2025 and kind of put it in that area there. So he says the 2025 event was a great success. Thank you to everyone who participated and supported. The 2026 event is coming together and just waiting on a date from the track. Going to change up some of the classes. So stay tuned for updates. Registration will open once a date is confirmed.
So that puts us at 53 events for 2025. 5 of those were postponed or canceled, but 18 already on the list for 2026. So again, these are on the website. You can find everything at dragdriverepeat.com/event list 2025. And I guess I assume the 2026 list would be event list -2026.
Yep, 100%. And then we've begun the migration from the circuit dnd.com over to Drag Drive Repeat for the circuit information. So I actually have short circuit 2025 and the circuit 2026 details on Drag Drive Repeat. So as Drag Drive Repeat becomes bigger, we are going to move a lot of that stuff over under that just because it's easier math. Yes, the Eric White.
Yep, catch him at a Drag and Drive event near you. Thanks, Skylar.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, I do want to do the ad read for J-Wire because I love J-Wire and love Jay Blanchard, stuff like that. But we will be talking about this next segment after that. So J-Wire Solutions, expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, or your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products that make your driving experience better, like the S10 fuel or charging port. I just saw that they had that's pretty awesome for all you S10 drivers. Fits right in that spot there. Not that you're going EV, but for your charging on your drag car. Blinker priority module, Holly EFI plenum tool top tray. Love that the way it looks. We were going to cover the Street Machine Drag Challenge winners in this segment, but I really want to get to talking to Devin, to be honest with you. And so we're going to cover those on the next news episode, which will probably be Sunday because Saturday morning we'll be doing the drive for the short circuit. So I don't want to miss this. I don't want to skip over not talking about somebody and winning a class and all that kind of stuff because there's some really cool stuff that happened at Drag Challenge. I just know that we're going to be way over on time if we don't get to moving here. So the 10th running of Drag Challenge happened last week. They wrapped up on Saturday or Sunday. Second longest drag and drive event going on. 2014 was the first year they hosted that. We learned that last week. And so this is going to be kind of fun, but we'll have to talk about it after the show when we're going to do the news episode on that. I don't feel like we can do it Friday because it's too soon, but maybe we do it Sunday morning. I don't know. We'll find out. So anyways, thanks to Jay. Appreciate him for all the stuff that he does for us here at Drag Drive Repeat. All right, let me flip through all these photos because there's some cool stuff that happened in there, but you know how that goes. All right, so lead us into some Molly Motorsports.
All righty, attention racers and high performance enthusiasts. Are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled M-A-H-L-E.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's actually bring the man in himself. Let me remove this here. Mr. Devin Vanderhoof, how are you this evening, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Good. Yeah, I'm doing even better now. I'm excited about you being on here tonight. Hang on. Let me get to, what do I got going wrong here, Eric? Help me out, bro. It should be the one, right? Like, where's the one where we make Devin big?
Sometimes I just enjoy watching you fumble through these. I don't know.
Same.
What'd you do to it?
Oh, there we go. Hold, please. Yep. There we go. For you guys that don't know, Devin Vanderhoof is the man. Fast 235s, fast on 275s, fast on a radio, fast. Probably if you've ever raced on a slick, you were fast on it too, I'm sure. I don't know if you've ever
It's been years raced on slicks, but we actually went out last year with Josh's car on slicks, and we actually did really. We went really fast, surprisingly. Yeah. So yeah, we usually are pretty good at going fast on whatever we're gonna have.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think this conversation is going to be fun. The first thing I want to talk about though is the new build, but I want to give you a second to kind of give us some history of the white car, the convertible, and then kind of how this whole thing came about, and then we're going to go into some photos.
Okay. So I bought the convertible, I think like 17 years ago, and 17 or 18 years ago, bought it with a blown up motor, drove it around, and like it evolved over the years. You add this, that, and the other, and it gets faster and faster, and it progressed to the point where it was starting to become like a race car, like a high horsepowered street car / race car, whatever you want to call it, and we had a lot of fun with it, and it started to turn more into race car than street car, but it was always going to be a street car to me, no matter what. It has to be. If I'm going to own it, it has to be a street car. So, and everybody's got a different definition of that, but me, like, if you hop in it and we can go to dinner, you know what I mean? I'm happy. So, but anyway, we did pretty good with that car in the heads up drag race type stuff locally throughout the southeast. We did a lot of the streetcar races with it. We dominated a couple years in a row of the streetcar race, like where you go on like a 30 or 40 mile cruise and go right into the lanes. I think we won 22 of those shootouts in a row. So that, kind of nobody really liked it then. Because we won everything. Then kind of turned my eye to drag and drive, and I'll be honest, when I first looked at it, I was like, man, I don't know if this is really for me, and we decided to pull the trigger and do what we needed to do to make this car a drag and drive car, because they're not the same when you're going real fast.
I can't
And
imagine.
like looking back because I made that decision about 5 years ago. If I knew then what I know now, progression obviously would have been a lot different, but the made some changes to it, went to sick week and had a catastrophic engine failure on day 0. It was pretty bad. So that really was probably the worst thing that could have happened when it came to fellow competitors. Not to us. Like, to me, it was like, okay, it sucks, but when I like to go out and race and enjoy like the racing, and I really enjoy hanging out in parking lots at a gas station and whatnot more than anything. But with a motor, I said, okay, well, that's never going to happen again. And and unless it's like my own stupidity, and we're coming to win. So showed up the next year at sick week, and that was the year we were on 235s, and decided that I was going to run this like a drill sergeant. Like, I was a lunatic, man. Like, we did not. I don't know if we had fun. I don't think we did have fun, actually. Like, we did one event every day. We were the first car down the racetrack every day for our group. We were the first through the gate every day. Well, not first through the gate, but like, part of that, like, first couple of people through the gate. And we were at the hotel every day by 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
I was a complete maniac. Up at 4 a.m., running valves at 4 o'clock in the morning, like heating, like priming, ridiculous, right? So the only failure we had that year was a spark plug wire, burnt up one spark plug wire. It was a flawless, like, even Tom came over and said, dude, you put on a clinic. Like, I don't get it. I was like, oh, whatever. We broke the 235 record by a pretty good margin. I don't really remember what it was, but I think it was a pretty good margin.
Yeah.
That
I think it was 2 tenths or something like that.
I think that the old record for a 235, I think, was like a 522 average.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you destroyed it.
Yeah, we went 461 or something average. Yeah. So, so that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But I'll tell you this: I think that the 235 tire is awesome, and I think that eighth mile is better than quarter mile. Now, comments can light up, and everybody can call me an idiot. That's fine. I'm okay with it. But I like eighth mile more than quarter mile when you start getting really fast, and
Yep.
there's a lot of safety reasons for that, and a lot of discomfort reasons for that too. But what I learned that year was the 235 class was awesome, but it felt as if like you were the little brother of everybody else racing. You know what I mean? So we decided to go back and run big tires, aka 275s, and that's what we've been on, 275s or 315s. The past couple of years. So we did pretty good at Sick Week this year. Took second overall, won our class. We won our class and took second overall. We had no. Oh no, that's right. That's right. See, I'm out of it. Like the whole event, Sick Week was so tough for us. Like it was bad this year. Just because of like all the whatever. Like a windshield caved in. Like everybody knows what happened. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, the windshield caved in. We made it like we went 228 mile an hour with these little pancake filters on front of the turbos. Like all this dumb stuff kept happening. Whatever. Um, then fast forward to sixth summer, and we went up there to test at what track was that? Is that Byron?
Mm-hmm.
That was day zero, day one. Yeah. So we were up there like 2 days early, and we were testing there because they had a shootout. So we like entered the shootout. And we're like, oh, let's get some test laps in. We kept shaking the tires and spinning it. We just had some problems. Anyway, kind of figured it out by day one. Okay, it's time to make a pass. And it goes down, it makes it through the transition area at Byron that like kept shaking the tires right around the 330. And it made it through and like right before the finish line, roof rips off. It's like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like this is just terrible. So um we were really gung ho to try to fix it, and then push came to shove, and it was just a smart move to just say pack it up and let's go home. So we rode around for a couple days. My wife and Josh's wife were up there on sick ward, so we had to endure that for a couple days, and then we drove home. So yeah,
Yeah, that stuff. I can't imagine the windshield coming in. What that would have felt like. Josh had some great interview time with everybody. I think everybody made their way around talking to him about that. And then to have the top come off, man, that's just crazy.
yeah. Well, the funny thing is like we get asked a lot, or like I get asked a lot. Well, why don't you drive? And it's like, well, I've got some physical, impairments after like tearing up a shoulder and a chest. But the real reality of it is that if you want to be successful at anything, you have to put the right person in the right position, right? So like Josh is a better driver than me. Simple as that. And I have no like pride problems with admitting that. Like I'm happy to admit it, and I'm happy to have such a good friend that wants to do this kind of stuff with me because that's what this is all about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like cool as a cucumber, man. Like he doesn't get excited about anything. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
like.
His interviews are hilarious because it's like just very even tone. Well, the windshield came in. I got to have my gloves on because it just laid kind of on my hand. That was like it was like what? Dude, I'd have shit my pants.
Oh, dude, I'm on the starting line, and like we make that hit, and I'm like, oh, all right, that was decent, right? So radio, like got the headset, and I'm like, hey, you are because we have a routine, right? So like once I see the shoots out and like everything looks like it's gonna be all right, because I don't want to be in his ear yelling like when he's like scrambling trying to get the car like straight and calm down. And I see everything's like kind of calmed down, and I'm like, hey, you good? He's like, yeah, windshield came in. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, windshield came in. Like, and that was the voice, like that was the tone, Uh,
Yeah.
there was no like, oh my god, like it was just windshield came in.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's
Yeah.
an
100%.
accurate statement.
Yeah. For the folks that are listening, this is Adjustable Hammer Racer says Josh is the definition of calm and composed. You could drive through a nuclear blast and just come out saying, "Well, that was interesting."
Like dude, he drive like say he drives up. Yeah, so we're going back to the pits. Oh, he says you should probably come down here. I can't see anything. And I'm like, all right. So I get on my scooter and I run to the end of the track. And like by the time I get down there, he's back driving the car and he's hanging out the window like Ace Ventura, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, the windshield really did cave in. Like I didn't mishear him like the you know. And so I said, you good? He's like, yeah. Do we have to go across the scales? And I was like, no. He's like, okay. Can you ride next to me on the scooter because I can't see anything and like I don't hit anything? And I was like, yeah, all right. And literally, like I can get worked up real easy, you know, like mad or what? Not mad, but like frantic, you know, like hurry up, we got to fix this or whatever. But like being around Josh, it's like you get like, oh my god, we got to go, and then like he's just like, it's fine, and you like his demeanor calms you down when you're just like, ah. So yeah, like he pulls back in the pits and 1320's there, and like they shove a camera in his face, and they're like, "How was that?" He's like, "Oh, it's less than ideal." You know, like that. That's it. Like, and that's the thing. You know, the in-car footage when the roof ripped off, it was like you see him like he's in the car, like you see it like from the side, like from the side of his helmet, and then you see the roof pop off, and all you see is his head do like this and like turn up and like look up, and then turn back, and he's just like just shaking his head. 230-mile-an-hour roof rips off. He looks up like, God dang it. You know what I mean? Like, you got kidding me, you know?
That's crazy.
Dude, he is like, and you know, it's the reason why we're such good friends is because like we're pretty different. You know, we're very much the same, but we're also very different. And if that would happen to me, and the roof ripped off of the wind, or most people, you know, like if the wind caved in on me, I'd be like, that's it. I'm cutting the wheel, going for the wall. We're going out like Thelma and Louise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in Josh's mind, he's probably like, oh, we get a windshield in like an hour. Like this ain't a big deal.
Right.
It's a Fox body windshield. It's fine. We can
Yeah.
get one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So anyway,
crazy.
so to the new car. So I saw this ad online for the car that I bought a couple weeks prior to Six Summer, and like I contemplated it, and Laura, my wife, um, uh, which I need to apologize to everybody who had to endure listening to her last week.
Oh, come on.
What are you talking about? It was awesome. It was a great show. She did amazing.
I'm so sorry to everybody listening that had to endure listening to her. But now I hope that everybody that did deal with that can sympathize with me because, really, you know. So, but anyway, she you know she kind of talked me out of.
She put on the thing there.
Oh yeah, it should be all right. She talked me out of selling the convertible like 100 times, you know. And when we were coming back, I said, okay, if we're going to keep racing this car, it needs to get a hard roof put on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we pulled the trigger on doing that, and then the next day, Laura's like, well, if you're going to just like make it a coupe, you could sell the car. And I was like, I could have just not cut this stuff out of the car real quick and saved myself a whole bunch of money if you just spoke up 2 days ago, but here we are. So it's all right though. So I bought this S550 from J&E Chassis Works, and they, yeah, there it is. And I bought it in a condition of a shell, and a shell with chassis. You know what I mean? Like, so the forelink was done, the rear end housing was done, strut shocks, you know, all the carbon fiber stuff on the car, and then pulled it. The reason that this car, I guess for some people that are watching or listening, they may not know, like, well, why would you go from one Mustang to another? But the bodies, the chassis, oh yeah, it's dramatically different, like dramatically. Like this is a 108-inch wheelbase. The Fox body was a 100-inch wheelbase. This has got a 4.5, 5-inch wider track width. This car's got way different aerodynamics than the Fox body does. Yeah, this is it. Now we're building this thing. So.
Well, and this car started life as a GT 500, right, or GT 350 or something like that.
GT 350, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
S550. I mean, like this thing definitely way more space.
Yeah.
And like
It's
it
pretty.
may have. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's pretty roomy inside. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying a lot more space, and then plus like having the Mustang for so long, like that car had been upgraded and changed and rebuilt and built and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it was the same level of safety here, but let's be, I mean, like this car is from the ground up built with this in mind, and the
Yes
convertible
and
was
no.
too. Hmm.
Yes and no. See, like a lot of people don't know, but like when we've redone the convertible to like stripped powder, like stripped, blasted, and redid the chassis in the car, and then like
Mm,
powder coated the entire car. Like so, so like the two builds are pretty similar, honestly. The only real main difference, like especially in that picture you're looking at there, is um, this has got strut cups where the convertible had factory front frame rails
mm.
and factory strut towers still. Um, but with these cars, the strut towers are huge in these things, and the frame, like where we're going in the classes we're going to race, like it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? So I was just like, screw it, who cares? We'll just run with this.
Hmm.
So, and we could always do what a couple other people that have done with like S197s and S550s, and they like Zeus on a piece of like steel that looks like a strut tower over top of their strut cup.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
at
but,
this point, what that is one thing that's good about drag and drive is like we're still in an area of the part here where it's not just ruled to death. Like unlimited's pretty wide open to whatever you want to bring.
yeah, like you could show up with whatever you want unlimited. This car wouldn't. This car would also be legal for with a front end change. It'd be legal for or a grill change, I should say. The new grill would make it legal for unlimited iron
Oh
with a
wow.
3,000 pound. Yeah, with 3,000 pounds minimum weight. But we're gonna run the unlimited class with this thing because the there's a lot. There's just no point in trying to like I don't want to race backwards. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I like the push. Like this year, like 2026, we've got some like killers coming. You know what I mean? Like there's some really fast cars, and a bunch of them are my customers. So like I have to beat them. Um, I'm just kidding. Um,
No, you're
but
not.
no, I'm not. Really, it's Goldstone that I'm really only talking about. But uh, but
Yeah.
the this car is really just kind of built around the idea of we're going to this is purpose built as purpose built as it's going to get for what we want to do. It'll be a little bit heavier than if we were to make it like a full blown race car that can survive a dragon, but I didn't want that. I wanted to still keep that ability. Like there's two different levels of treatability when it comes to race cars. There's the we can endure and we can deal with it, and it's going to suck. Or there's the we can endure and deal with this, but it's actually going to have some kind of creature comforts and not be that. And I wanted to be on the not that terrible side of things. So,
Yeah,
we could
100%.
probably save about 50 to 60 pounds out of it if we decided that we were just going to deal with misery. You know what I mean? But I didn't want that.
Well, tell us a little bit about powertrain that's going to be in this one.
So the engine is from Par Race Engines. It's a 557 cubic inch big block Chevrolet, and it is powered by a pair of HPT turbos. I'd tell you how big they are, but I don't remember.
I think they're
They're either
67s.
no. They're well. I'll be honest about it. I just can't remember what they are. They're either 88s or 94s. I don't remember what we did. I've been fried lately, so I'm pretty sure they're 94s now. Uh, the man that can't root shooter electrocute. That's funny. Uh, so uh, it's got a pair of HPT turbos. Behind that is a close ratio 3-speed lockup transmission from Rossler. And one of the most critical parts of the entire car is the torque converter from Cameron's Torque Converter Services in Columbia, South Carolina. I've always used them, and I always will use them. And I say that I really mean that. That's one of the most critical parts of a car. Like the torque converter is for an automatic is like, one of the most critical parts. Rear end is a 9-inch Fab 9-inch Mark Williams center section, and then what else? That's all electronics, of course. All EFI. That's what we do for a living.
Yeah.
Um,
Big
it's
shout out to Matt at Performance Fab for putting out the videos surrounding this, dude. It was really fun to watch. I like that nerdy shit, and he was kind of digging into
yeah.
that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Matt does. So the guys at J&E Chassis Works up in Michigan built the car as a roller, as a race car. Then Matt took what he had there, or what we have there, and turned it into what I wanted. That's the thing about like buying a car that's already done. You have to understand that it's not really already done if it's not exactly what you want. So because I've been through so many different renditions with my old car, I learned that if we just don't do it the way I want to do it right now, it costs me way more money in the future. So we're just doing it exactly how I wanted to do it now. So like even there's like a lot of really trick stuff that Matt did. Like even in that picture you got up right there, he tongue and grooved all the panels on the side of the transmission tunnel. So like it's a quarter of the amount of fasteners you need to remove them.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did a bang up job with the way everything's laid out. Like I had a lot of input as to what I wanted, but I don't know how to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm the annoying customer who's like, yeah, make it awesome. I don't know how to do that. Just make it awesome.
This
So
is what I see in my mind, but you
yeah,
need to figure out what that means. Yeah, I really like the center console, or not the center, the tunnel there, where you've got like the
yeah,
carbon fiber pieces, and like how he had to make that out of aluminum so he could use the brake to do. I mean, like there's just a lot of really behind the scenes, a lot of neat stuff that nobody really ever gets unless they're really, unless they already know that channel and follow along. So appreciate
yeah.
you introducing me to him.
I wish everybody would go subscribe to his channel because it's awesome. Like he does unbelievably good work, and I'm actually like partially responsible for him having like a YouTube channel because I pushed him to it. I said, man, you're a killer. Like, why doesn't everybody
Yeah.
know who you are? Like, and that's the thing. Like the best the best fabricators and the best chassis guys. Like like sometimes you hear the big names all the time. But there's
Mhm.
guys out there that are in their shop that are building amazing stuff that nobody's ever heard of because they just stay busy from word of
No.
mouth.
Well, and they don't
So
have time to record and edit. I mean, that's what my brother runs into. He does a lot of really cool stuff, but doesn't have time to record and edit.
yeah, it recording and editing is a big job. Laura does that for us now, because I'm not doing it. But
Well, I mean,
but
let's be honest. There's more important stuff that you need to be getting your hands on. Like bringing Goldstone's cars.
oh god, yeah. Um, so we did his Corvette, the Batmobile. Um, that's what we called it. I don't.
I think it fits.
Yeah. So we did the Corvette, and that was a tough job, just because that car. If people look at that car, or people look at these cars and they go like, because we wire like, so what we do for a living, if anybody doesn't know, we wire, we plumb, and we tune cars. That's what we do. Um, we sell lots of parts, and we do a lot of customer care, customer service with like high end electronic or any electronics really that we sell. Um, and but most people look at a car and they go, "Oh, well, it's already run, so that means all the wires are in the right spot and everything works, and nobody really cares." And um, but like when you start looking at like a car like the Corvette, there's no room in that car because it wasn't built to be driven on the road. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was built to be a pro mod. So that was a tough job just because everything was really tight inside of the car. And I thought that was going to be the worst thing that I had to deal with this year. I really thought that was going to be the worst thing that we did this year. Um, and boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. Then you saw the Javelin.
Dude, buddy. So if y'all don't know who Goldstone and Rob Sanders, if you don't know who those guys are, I'm here to tell you that they are the toughest men on the planet. Okay. Drag and drive's hard. It is way harder when you are in this Javelin. This is terrible. It is. I mean, I hope Brian watching. I've told him all these things on the phone. Yeah. Quit bitching. No, it's quit, not quite bitching. Uh, uh, now these guys they're tough as nails. It was tough. This car, not only is it small inside, but it is doused in like 10 years of drag and drive oil, grease, grime, disgustingness, right? Um, and it's just because it's been raced a lot, it's been driven a lot, it's been, so it's it's uh it's pretty gross. We actually pulled all the carpet out of it and replaced it because it was so saturated with it was just gross. Like good, Brian. All you hear is your price going up. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, we way underbid that one. The one thing
Yeah,
that's really cool about this car to me is the again another car that was over at Matt that he featured on his channel where he built the headers and stuff. Dude,
yeah,
you would have never thought about that because those guys race that thing all the time. But even Bryant said in a text message back and forth to me that he's like the car had just we had repaired stuff for so long because there was no downtime for that car. They always had to get it
yeah,
ready for, I mean, they've done 5 events this year. Like
yeah,
there's no downtime. So it's going to be kind of cool to see. But Matt did a great job on the headers on this thing. It's freaking
yeah.
gorgeous now and way more serviceable.
Yeah. So I remember like when I first met Brian, uh they were welding those headers back together on at the track. Like, oh, y'all are gluttons for punishment. And Brian, I didn't know him or nothing, and they kind of just looked at me like, "What are you new here?" I was like, "Well, I guess I am." Yeah. Uh, but after getting to know them, and then after working on the cars for Bryant, I'm telling you, like we're redoing the plumbing on this car as well. Like these dudes are tough as nails to deal with this BS. Like
Hmm.
I'm telling you, like there's no chance that this thing would have been raced if I owned it the way it was before we started doing. Like there's just no way. Like there's just I couldn't do it. So and they're tough as nails, man. And like and obviously, they know how to make it work and to survive. And most of that I think comes from um their ability to not quit, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they definitely don't have any quit in them. The Miltech channel on here asking, are those radials on there? Yes, they are.
they are, yeah. So Bryant decided that he was going to convert this car over to radials and be a man. So
I
yeah,
can't wait to see
can't
this thing
wait.
go down on some radials, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Um, to be honest, the bones of this car, they're good. Like they're nice. Like they're good. Like for how long they've been racing this car, like we were really anticipating like we're going to find stuff all over it that's just problematic because not that we do anything with chassis or anything, because I don't do that for a living because I don't know how I don't weld. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. But we're all over every nook and cranny of somebody's car. So like as we find stuff with anybody's car, we just jot down a note and say like, hey, this is a to-do list. You should probably address this, or our opinion is address that. And and we find stuff on every car, where you're like, I'd probably look at this, even though it's out of our wheelhouse. Like, I think you should look at this. It's just like kind of a suggestion. And surprisingly, besides strip the car down to bare chassis, powder, sandblast the entire thing, get all the oil out of it, and then repaint it. That's what I'd really like to do. But but other than that, no, it's they're gonna be back out racing and rocking in this thing in no time. So that's if he wants to take this car out instead of the Corvette.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a decision to make. Damn, that'd be tough.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that they look very similar, right? So like you probably can't tell. Like I mean, if he goes out like late at night, just loads one up, he might not be able to tell which one's which.
Yeah.
They went testing the Corvette. I'm sure everybody saw it, but they went testing the Corvette and it was rolling.
If dude,
It's fast.
594 or something like that,
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. Unlike the third hit or something when they were trying, So like that's pretty good. They're
Well, and
uh,
the great thing about that pass was that they literally had not changed much. They fixed a couple things that had happened during drag week and then went out
mhm.
basically on the same tune up and went 594. They were like, we needed 3 more passes and we'd have been there
Yep.
on drag week. So
Yeah, yeah. No,
it's pretty exciting.
that car. Yeah, that car rolls. That car flies. They're like to me. His last name's Goldstone, but I've always considered kind of like recently in the past like couple of years, I've considered him the gold standard for drag and drive. Like really, like he is. Like he's um and
He's the man.
that I mean you can't argue with the results, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like there's other people that have been faster, you know what I mean? There's other people that hold records or there's other people that have won different events, but the reality of it is that he's got the most wins under his belt than anybody.
hmm Well, I
He's
mean,
got the
just
most miles under his
he
belt than
has
anybody.
11 guitars from drag
Yeah.
week or sick events.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I hate to say that because I mean, the good news here is that like he's not going to be able to go out to work tomorrow because his head ain't going to fit through the door after hearing me say this. You know what I mean? Like his head is so blown up right now he can't even fit through the door. But but it's true, man. He's good. Like they're good. They're good at what they do. You know,
Yeah.
Brian and sometimes Brian and Rob will go with them as a co-pilot, and you know both combos, right? Like they work together really well. We always enjoy being around them.
hmm
You know, always have a good time. Um, and he's fast, so I look forward to running over whatever car he decides to bring out next year. You know what I mean? I look forward to doing that, and you know,
Yeah.
um, if you don't have fun, to me, like if we're not poking each other, we ain't having fun.
Oh,
Right.
100%. Especially with that guy. He is like the most uh understated trash talker that we've talked to in the last few months.
Oh, he's terrible. Everybody always wants to act like he's the victim too. He's terrible. He is terrible. He brings it all upon himself. Every single bit of it. So
Well,
he's
with the Corvette build, was there anything new for you when you were doing that build?
um, no, not anything out of the ordinary for us. No, I mean we try to treat just about every single car the same. Like obviously every car is a little different because they're laid out different and the customer has different end goals. But like Corvette was, as funny as this sounds, the Corvette was just your typical 24 injector twin turbo big block combo, dual fuel systems, and a four-way camera system.
Yeah, just
Just your
normal shit.
normal stuff. Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah.
well,
I-
I say that, but it's like we've done so many of them that to me it's like it becomes just second nature.
Yeah. Will we see more folks go to that camera instead of mirror setup? Like Nick Cryer has that on his hot rod and now Goldstone. I don't know of any other cars in Dragon Drive with the camera mirror though.
In the mirror, with the up on like the windshield.
Yeah, like where like for Goldstones, you turn the blinker on, it shows your like a late model
Yeah,
Chevrolet truck or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. I mean, I my convertible had head restraint or like head containment seats. You couldn't see out of, and you couldn't see past trailer out of the little mirrors. Plus, the convertible like to shake the tires a little bit and then knock the mirror glass out of the mirrors. So like we'd lose the mirrors, like on day one. So that was always fun. Driving down the road and like the mirror out, like, is that? Can you see? You know what I mean? Like, but the cameras work really good, man. They really do. Like it's nice. When I when I set it up on my car, I put the forward facing camera on the back of the trailer so
Mm,
that when you're driving down the road, the forward facing camera is on the screen, like the main screen all the time. but it's pointing backwards. So like I found that to be rather useful.
Mm-hmm.
We did Goldstone's Corvette like that, I believe, as well. No, we pointed the camera forward. No, I think we pointed the camera forward because he wanted.
Well, and probably forward because I mean, dude, as long and
Yeah,
skinny as that front end, yeah, you'd have trouble. Yeah, Laura says
yeah,
Devin had mirrors for days.
oh yeah. We had Like, new owner of the car got like, well, he doesn't have mirrors on the doors anymore, but like the new owner of the car got like a box of if you need mirror glass, like there's tons of it. Here you go, So,
That's awesome.
but yeah, the Corvette to me was just like another like badass drag and drive car, fully featured. You know what I mean? Like we do them. I know, like outside looking in, you look at that car and you go, "God dang, it's hit the mirror, or you hit the turn signals, and like everything's automated, and there's an indicator on the dash, and there's the big screen lights up and shows you the left side or the right side." Um, the We've done so many of them that it comes second nature to us. So,
Mm-hmm.
not downplaying it in any way, shape, or form because it's not an easy job to do. It's just we've done a lot of them. So,
What did you get? Well, we'll talk about Cleetus' car here in a minute. Anyways,
okay.
Eric, why don't we why don't we thank some race car friends and then some sponsors, and then we'll move to the next little segment here.
All right. Appreciate tons of comments tonight. So appreciate all of our race car friends tuning in for the Devin Vanderhoof episode for tonight. So appreciate each and every one of you guys watching and our sponsors. We say it all the time. We couldn't do this without them. Summer Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmission, Car Chain 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And then that rolls us into our Deechworks segment. So we'll start moving into there. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pumps, modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 2200 horsepower. Every DW product is built to maximize reliability and efficiency, ensuring optimal fueling solutions for racers, tuners, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. And again, you guys know the deal here, 10% off using code DDR10 on the Deechworks website.
Perfect. All right, sir. Well, here's I want to talk about something that is. I text you about this earlier. I want to talk about a fast car only event. We last year this kind of circled around a little bit. Everybody had their own thoughts and stuff like that. But I really feel like the point we're getting to now within Drag and Drive, like, could we have a fast car only event? Limit the number of cars. Kind of World Cup finals is this week. It kind of re-sparked this thought I had. Those guys, they have to prove the times they ran, right? Like that's how World Cup works. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, could we see something like this in the near future? I know you're a fast guy and you like to race against fast guys. Like, is that something you'd want to you could see in the future?
So I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I haven't been thinking about just a fast car only drag and drive. I've been thinking about a way to I've been trying to come up with a way in my mind to make both sides of it happy, right? The super fast guys, we want to be on the racetrack first because I don't care about weather. If you go to a good racetrack and they prep the racetrack properly, if it's 50 degrees or whatever, it doesn't matter. I want to be on the racetrack before 300 other cars that are going to destroy the racetrack get on it. That's what I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other 300 cars, if you have 400 cars there, there's 100 cars or maybe a little more that really need a really good surface. There's a 70% of the cars that don't need an unbelievably killer surface, and in all reality, those 70% of cars that don't need a killer surface, what they're on for a drag and drive is probably better than the normal like Wednesday night test and tune or something. You know what I mean? So like they're already leveled up as it is, So how do you get the really fast cars and the fast cars and the medium and the slower cars, make everybody happy. I thought to do a split day. So like say you ran 0 for the fast cars is on Sunday, right? Day 1 for the fast cars is on Monday. Day 0 for the slower cars is on Monday.
Mm.
They basically just followed each other, right? So like track 1 for fast cars is on Monday. Track 1 for slower cars is on Tuesday. You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
but it turns into like you need 2 sets of staff. Then the
Yeah.
other thought, like when you text me earlier and you're like, man, what about a fast car only drag and drive? You call it like the high rollers or something like that, or whatever you want it to do, because it's expensive. It's going to have to be.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I
Well,
don't know how
so
you.
so here's my, and this again, just shit I'm running through my brain, and I feel like you're a good conversation for this because you're front running. But like 100 cars, 120 cars, maybe. It's not, it's not about a big experience. It truly is about finding the fastest street car, which is what Drag Week was in the beginning. And then, of course, like we all do, we love this stuff. We want to be there. We want to experience it. Um, a 12-second car wants to pit next to Devin's Mustang. They want to have that experience of being at the same property. But to legit find the quickest car anymore, there's been a lot of conversations of, man, maybe there is another 7-second car that just couldn't type his credit card information in quick enough, and he missed out because of that. But
Yeah,
like,
that's a
how do
bummer.
we get those guys? And like, is it even fathomable? Who knows? Like, we're in a point where we are now entering the third decade of Drag and Drive. The first decade was one event. The second decade was now 50 events this last year, 48 events hosted this last year. What's the next time? Like, Eric and I had joked about a slow car only event.
Yeah,
10 seconds and slower, and let those guys battle it out for a bunch of stuff. But I
for sure.
really, this fastest streetcar deal, finding that, I think you probably have to open it up to 100, but 80 or 100 miles a day, like, it doesn't take a 300-mile day to prove it. I think this could be really, really fun if we had somebody that really wanted to dive into some. I mean, because it's going to piss a lot of people off. I think if
Well,
you
I
ran
mean,
like World Cup, you could do invite only. You could do, hey, prove you got that kind of
qualify.
time.
Well, for World Cup, you have to qualify. Like we've ran World Cup 2 years. And, I have no interest in really going back just because I can't handle um the cars checking the rods in the pits nonstop all day and night. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? Like with the first year was great. The second year we were pitted in Rod Check Alley, and all I heard was Honda's limiter nonstop, and I was like, I'm done. I can't go back here anymore. I can't handle it. So, but World Cup is an awesome experience, and the thought process behind World Cup is we have a great racetrack, perfect time of year, great air. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And this worldwide draw for spectators, right? So they said, "Hey, we could sell 10,000 racer tickets to this, but we can't handle 10,000 racers. So let's make everybody qualify. So you have to submit that like a video and a time slip of your car running whatever ET it is for the class that you're trying to enter. Then you have to register in time, kind of similar to the way Drag and Drive works. Is like, hey, registration opens up on this day. If you were there last year, you get early registration. But it sells out. Like all the classes sell out. The drag and drive, like a fast car only drag and drive would be cool. Split it up to maybe, whatever, 3 classes or something like that. Put qualifying brackets on them. Hey, we need to see, like we need a faster than 650 pass out of you in order to qualify for this group, faster than 7.0 for this group, and faster than 750 for this group. You know what I mean? That would be
Yeah,
cool, but
yeah.
Derek's got a point.
Yeah, he said,
I love the idea. I love the idea.
yeah.
Like I'm all in. Like I'm all in.
Yeah, right. Derek's saying trying to get the most, all the quickest drag and drive cars together at one event would be difficult at best. Some people don't have the same schedules, time off, want to travel. I agree with that 100%, and that's why this is conversational more for you and I. I think this could work because, like, I feel that top level racer would figure out that this isn't something that's like, hey, in 3 months we're going to put this on. This is a, hey, if you've done an event in the last 5 years, if you've been fast, if you still have a fast car, you're open to invitation. Kind of like what they do with their wild cards now for Sick Week. We continually see the average ET across the board go down at Sick Week. As you begin to do that, but we still have a lot of slowish cars at Sick Week. But at some point, I just feel like we got to have a king of the hill, man.
Yeah, I would, like I'm with you. Like I agree. Like I would love to see something like that, but I think it would have to be in addition to, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%. Yeah, I don't want to
like
give up what we're doing, especially like what Sick does. They have a great, 270 cars were on Sick in the Sick ward.
oh, yeah. So the way I would look at that is like Derek made a point about like you can't get all the quickest drag and drive cars. You can if you talk enough shit to them.
Dude, look at Sick Week. There's 100 cars that are in the nines or quicker. I think
Well, the thing is
Eric, what was
that
the bump spot for Sick Week 100 this year?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
Know. Derek will probably know, but it was in the low to mid nines or maybe a low 10 or something like that.
Well, what I'm saying is if you had 100 car, like if you had just nothing but the fastest cars in drag and drive, um, the if you had just the fastest cars in drag and drive show up, how much faster could they be? Because the whole deal with drag and drive is that you need to make it to the next day. There's 400 cars at a racetrack. You're trying to make a conservative, good effort on hit number one because you do not want to get shoved into all run, right?
Yeah.
So when we went to Sick Week this year, right, earlier this year, day one was like kind of a shit fest because the oil downs that happened and then everybody only got one run. Well, we shook the tires at the 330 and coasted to a 7 like 130, right?
Yeah.
There is that we had no chance to catch. We had no ability to catch Brett in number one. So we said, okay, we're just going to take it easy for the rest of the week and just cruise and try to go like a 650 or 640 or faster every day. You know what I mean? And we did, and we wound up being second. But if we knew that there's 100 cars and we got 6 hours on 7 hours or 8 hours on the racetrack, man, you get a little bit different of a view on things. You go, well, you know what? One is going to be a Hail Mary. Let's see what it does. Let's see if we can't go real damn fast, So I think you would see numbers go even faster. But somebody brought up like it would not exist without sportsman classes. You're 100% right. I agree with you. And when I first got into the to the drag and drive stuff, at first I was like, man, I wish that there was like what we're talking about right now, like just fast cars. The reality of it is that if you walk around the pits of all the really fast cars, right, and all the really fast guys, you're usually like kind of annoyed.
It's hard. It would be hard to run that kind of level, but I think that's what it would be for, in my opinion. I think that and again, it's one event. We're not doing it every time. And with 50 events, the guys that want to enjoy the experience, which is 100% what you've got to do. That's got to be your first goal in this whole thing. For your first one is to enjoy it. But for like proven fast cars, man, let's go. And what Sean Fink there talks about with money, it made me think. He mentions World Series of Pro Mod. Like you could do an event like this within an event like World Series of Pro Mod or the Snowbirds or U.S. Nationals or something like that. because you could rate. I mean, it could be a 4-day event. It doesn't have to be the end of the world and 1,000 miles and all that stuff. Like you're trying to find the quickest street car. So
Right.
street cars, I don't know.
So to expand on like what I was saying about like if you walk around the pits, you'll get annoyed when you're around all the really fast cars because most of the really fast cars aren't really happy because
Yeah.
like you work hard, right? So like I want everybody that's watching that don't think that I'm sitting here on like a horse acting like, oh, if you don't have a fast car. No, buddy. I'm jealous of y'all. You guys have a really good time. Like we've got some local friends that do a lot of drag and drives, and you know them, Tracy Holtzclaw and
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Admire and the Charles Barber. Those guys are competitive, but they're there to have a good time. And those dudes,
Yeah.
oh, Mark Manor, always having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm jealous of that. Like I like that. That's the dude. They're
Yep.
having way more fun than we are. You know.
Yep.
Um,
And there'd be plenty of events for them to do that. And like Holtz calls, well, whatever. His car's pretty quick and fun and does amazing burnouts. We could have some, like, that could be in a sick word type deal,
yeah.
drag pack, a
Oh
road trip thing.
yeah.
To answer this
Oh,
question here for Sean Ellis, he said, for the slower classes, do they typically get multiple shots at their session before the all run? No, but it's like what you said earlier. Like they don't need to have the perfect track to make their best possible run, you know. And
right.
so it would be interesting to see, like, could those fast cars survive making 5 passes a day for 4 days and driving 100 miles between?
Right, right. I don't know. It'd be tough. Because well, that's the thing, right? Is like the current set of drag and drive, like the way things go, right? I'll just give a rundown of sick week. Day one, we had one, and everybody could only get one hit. Brett made it
Mhm.
down clean, like 640 something. We spun and shook the tires, went 7-0. Once they announced that there was not going to be another run, Brett started packing up and said, "Okay." They were already packed up, ready, or they were already packed up. They just didn't switch the car over yet because they were waiting to see what we were going to do.
Mhm.
Right? If you got an event where you're like, "Hey, man, you're gonna be able to get 3, 4, 5 good hits at this racetrack throughout the day," you ain't packing up early. You're gonna
Well, and
push as hard as you
yeah,
can.
the
You know what I
other
mean?
side of that would be that you're only gonna have to drive 100 miles, right?
Oh
So it's
yeah.
not gonna be some crazy, like, you're not getting prepared for the I-75 or whatever the hell it is that runs from South
Oh
Georgia
yeah,
to
miserable.
Bradenton, you know? You're
Yeah.
not getting ready for that. Or there's one trip on Rocky Mountain Raceway's 400 miles, for
That's
2026.
stupid.
Like, it's not a single
I
day. You got a day drive in there, a drive day in there, but, like, still, like, there's events that some events don't go, 400 miles total, like weekend
right, yeah.
events anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I get it. The whole Rocky Mountain Race Week driving 1,500 miles, like it's badass, right? You're never going to catch me there.
Yeah.
I'm
Dang.
not going to drive 3,000 miles round trip to go drive 1,500 miles in the car.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to. You know what I mean? Like it's just not who I am. Like I don't have enough time for it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Not that,
and dude, I
you
love
know,
Rocky Mountain. It's one of my favorite ones. Plus the scenery is cool. And that's what's great about all the events in different parts of the country. But like with you being in North Carolina, I think, or South Carolina,
we're
where
in
do y'all live?
Carolina. Yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
Carolinas. Yeah.
Yeah. So, to get out there, dude, it's a 2-day trip minimum there and back.
Right.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole, and then it's like, that what I'm saying is like a lot of people in the drag and drive world will say, well, it's not a real event unless you travel 14,000 miles in a day. And you know what I mean? Like, like some people are just like so over the top with this whole you got to prove it thing where it's like, dude, car, no matter what it is, once it makes it 50 miles, it's going to keep going. And if it doesn't keep going, it was a catastrophic failure that was going to happen in 3 miles, or, the next 3 miles or the next 3,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it is what it is. Like that, the whole, like, we got to prove it by driving at least 1,500 miles or 1,000 miles in the week. Those are like cute numbers to throw around for people who like don't understand kind of how the real fast stuff works. Yeah, if you get in your brand new CTSV with your air conditioned seats and you do Rocky Mountain Race Week, awesome. I hope you could do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'd hope you could handle that, you know?
Yeah. Well, and
But
the one thing
does he
about
even race anymore?
he hadn't this year. He's in here
I know. I don't know why he keeps
all
talking.
that
He should be
smack, talking about
he should be
coyotes being
talking.
fast
He
and
should be
everything.
talking, not talking. You know what I mean?
But hey,
You
maybe
need
he is in
directions
the
to
shop.
sit out in that garage or what?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
busting your
he's out there. He better be out there wrenching on that thing and getting it
I
ready.
know.
I'm ready to see that car out. I think it's going to be awesome for
Oh,
folks that don't.
so am I. That's why again, I said earlier when I was busting on Brian. When I was busting on Brian, it's like that I like when if we can poke at each other, then we're friends, you know. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, so if anybody wants to put up, a smooth 100 Gs to find the quickest street car drag and drive, I think we could probably talk to Wes Buck and see if we could replace one of those index classes at World Series of Pro Mod and put this in. Just saying, if there's anybody out there that want to do that, I think it would be a fun. I think it'd really elevate everything. Plus, putting it on a big stage because you're going to call out some pretty heavy hitters. I think a lot of the big names that were big, a few years ago would be back. I think it'd be really fun.
Oh yeah, it'd be great,
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be really cool. Do one lane for radials, one lane for slicks, and let them get at it. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could. I think that'd be it, man. That would be awesome because then you would really give it the opportunity. Sean Fink here says, "Here's an idea: top 100, like Devin mentioned. You have a limit of 2, maybe 3 hits per track, and must run below said class index 650, 70, 750. If you don't fulfill, you're out. You'd be in contention for said purse and out of competition." Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'd have to have a ton of rules around it. I think you could probably, just like you said, 3 or 4 classes. Definitely we want to see all those 850 guys go in there and just hammer away at some 850 stuff. How fun would that be? And then have some really fast stuff from there. I think it'd be, man, I don't know.
You know what I think you do with an index, right? Like these 850 dudes are nuts, right? Like they are. They really are. Like I never thought I would say this. Like 5 years ago, if you told me this was going to come out of my mouth, I would have called you a liar. But 850 is probably the best class to pay attention to, right? Like, it really.
What have we been saying? What have we been saying?
It is unbelievably impressive when I've seen dudes print tickets that go 8.5000. What? And then a couple of people have done it like twice in a week, and I'm like, what? Like it's insane. So the problem there is that I can manipulate technology in a car. If I really got into that 850 class, I could manipulate technology in a car to help me achieve 850 and some change every pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would make it a lot harder? This is the 850 index. Day 1 it's 850. I don't know. Day 2 it's going to be 820. Day 3 it's going to be 845. You know what I mean? Make it move. If you're good, you should be able to.
That'd be interesting.
If you're good, you should be able to,
Yeah, especially with a car that's that quick.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't make it if you're gonna have the top 100 of the fastest cars, man, make it 80, make it 750. Because there's a lot of cars that run 850 that can run 750.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and the hard part for those cars is a lot of them don't want to go to that level with the cage, which I get. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I agree. I get that 100% for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Dustin Carlington says modified 850 Bullseye Challenge. That'd be kind of fun. I think you could really have a good time with all of the topics there. But let's talk about one thing before we get off of this. You said something earlier when you talked about you like eighth mile versus quarter mile stuff. Talk to us. When do you think we're going to see that move of drag and drive stuff like that top tier drag and drive car kind of go to an eighth mile class? You know what I mean? Like Bailey and you guys, I mean, you're running 240 plus in a street car.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen until something bad happens, because there's too many people with too much ego that they refuse to set aside to understand that the race is not won in the second half of the track. I don't care who you are. I don't know if you guys saw, but Jimmy Taylor shut it down after the 8th mile and went 5:22 in the quarter. He
So
went
bad.
3:40, whatever, 3:40 flat to the 8th. Does anybody think that he was going to run 4:99 to the quarter if he would have went 4:0 to the 8th? And he was just going to miraculously pick up 100 mile an hour from the 8th to the quarter? Like, people, I understand. I completely agree with and understand the people who have got a car that runs, 850 or 950 or 1050, 1150, whatever it is, and they want to go fast. I get it. Like, I completely get it, and I agree with you, right? They want to go. So somebody's got a car that's 12 O's. Maybe they're pushing to get into that 100-mile-an-hour club. You know what I mean? I 100% get it. Like, I wish them the best, and I hope that they stick to it, and I hope they get it. But once the cars start getting faster than, like, realistically, once they start getting faster than 750 in the quarter, I think the car should be swapped over to 8th mile. It should just be swapped over to 8th mile. I really do. And it's because, like, those last 2 seconds in the throttle doesn't seem like, oh, well, you're just going, an extra 660 foot. It's not about keeping the engine alive or any of that kind of stuff. It's about keeping the car together and the driver alive, you know?
Well, 100%. Like things go bad very fast. Then I want to give a shout out to Sean Fink. Say thanks for coming in tonight and making comments for sure. This is he says you can't just you talking about his index deal. You can't go any slower than the class you entered. So if that has a max of 657 or 750, yeah, I think that would be cool. I think you could really do a ton of fun things with that. So yeah, the 8th mile. Again, Miltech channel saying 8th mile for most classes would be great. I think that's true. And, I do a lot with Midwest Drag Race Series. I attend 5 or 6 events of those a year. And a lot of the stuff at Tulsa for like No Time Small Tire or some of the, classes over there are 8th mile. Like you can go really fast. I think people for so long were conditioned that quarter mile was the king, and then they get out and race and they have a 12-second car, and it's fun to hold your foot down to the floor for 12 seconds. But
No, and that's the thing. I get that. I understand that. But, like, when you start getting into these cars that are running, 450s and faster in the 8th mile, dude, like, things go bad quick. Like, we go, like, with my car, we've been 189 mile an hour in the 8th.
God, that's so fast.
189 in the 8th on a 275 tire with a friggin' soft top. You know what I mean? Why, like, it doesn't make sense to not run 8th mile. If we ran 8th mile, the whole focus would be way different in the way we raced. Like, we could be so much, like, everybody could be so, the competition would tighten way up if we raced 8th mile. You know what I mean? Because if you have a bad 60 foot, the rest of the race is over. And nobody's like, when I brought this up a couple of years ago, because our event's 8th mile, like Laura said, people said, I won't go because it's not quarter mile. And I'm like, okay. They're like, well, I've won many races in the back half. I'm like, buddy, no, you haven't. Like, is that after you jumped the Coke can, or is it before you friggin' could get the $100 bill off the dashboard? Like, which one was it? You know what I mean? Like, I hate to be that way, but dude, I don't know. The whole 8th to quarter mile thing has always been an argument, and I don't know.
I don't have the right hard drive out here to pull it up, but 2005, Carl Scott won the Hot Rod Drag Week with an 850 average. Larry Larson at that time went 8 O's, I think, as his quickest pass. He didn't average that for the week, but we've come a long way. I mean, we're looking at cars running 6 O's. That's a huge swing in the quarter mile, and I don't know. I feel like that's a conversation. And again, as we move into the 3rd decade of drag and drive racing here, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I think that the safety factor, you stick it to 8th mile, and if you stick to 8th mile racing, I think that you would see a lot of new racers come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, where we live, like where we race at, like there is no quarter mile tracks. Well, like Carolina's quarter mile, but they don't like it. They don't ever want to turn the quarter mile clocks on.
Yeah.
Rocking quarter mile, but Rockingham is 3.5-ish hours for me, and 99% of the events there are eighth mile. So like, so yeah, it's a quarter mile track, but they don't like turning them on because they know that if something happens, there's a good chance for it to be absolutely catastrophic in the quarter mile. How didn't Tom Bailey just go like 260 something?
I think it's 253 or 7 or something like that. And it was at that point, it was the quickest quarter mile door car or something like that.
Yeah.
In a
Insane.
street car.
Right.
Insane.
Insane. 260
Yeah.
mile an hour.
Yeah.
So like, that's the thing. The drag and drive stuff like is such a different thing as well as like just like heads up drag racing because like, yeah, okay, you bring out your pro mod and you go 260 mile an hour and you make 4 hits, you bring it home, roll a new set of bearings in it, you go over every single friggin' nook and cranny of that car and you make sure it's perfect. Or you go 260 miles an hour, then you hop in the car and you drive it 300 miles and you beat yourself to death with the trailer hooked up. And then you get to the next day exhausted, tired, and you don't nut and bolt every single thing on that car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another level of danger to an unbelievably fast car. It's like I don't know. I will always advocate for the super fast stuff to be an eighth mile. Always for safety. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. And again, I think you're 100% right, and I agree 100% with you on that. I think it would be really cool to see how much faster. I mean, Brett's been 388 or something like that. Not at a drive, but in the car. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's thank you for entertaining me for that with that conversation. I know that's as an event promoter, that's probably not the best conversation for you to have about cutting event numbers and participant numbers and stuff like that. But I really feel like there's something there as we move into the next few years. I really, somebody had talked about, drag week being the original way to find the fastest street car. And now there's 400 plus cars there. Is it more of experiential to do drag week than necessarily finding the quickest car, which we did this year? I mean, Ned Dunphy goes out 6:17, breaks a record that had been in place since 2016. I mean, absolutely insane. And we're going to see some fives. We're going to see fives at Sick Week. All right, let's move on to the last segment here. Thank you for talking about Goldstone's car too. I was just running through those photos. Performer Built transmissions as we move into the last bit here. Ryan at Performer Built is a genius. Performer Built Transmissions is the official transmission builder of Drag Driver Pete. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say their transmissions are not just built, they're Performer Built. And they have put a 4L60E in the sevens. So I think they kind of know a little bit about what they're talking about. It's crazy in a street-driven Camaro. I mean, it's 780s, dude. Who the hell knows? Well, let's go back to 235s because I think that could be a really fun class for people to move into as we start looking for some edge or advantage for different cars. Why do you like the 235 so much?
It's challenging.
100%. I can't imagine.
It's challenging. That's what I like so much about it. Well, the first thing that drew me to 235s at Sick Week is, you could guess it, it was eighth mile.
Yeah.
I don't like
the rowdy rodeo class. Yep.
I don't like quarter mile. I like eighth mile stuff. It's just safer. So the 235 tire is unbelievably good tire. It is a very good. That Mickey Thompson tire is very, very good. It's a totally different chassis setup than a 275. It's a totally different animal. It's a fun, really fun tire. It's a very delicate balancing act to get that tire to work and be happy and be fast.
And they look so good. Like
we
saw Goldstone's car on a 275 earlier. It just looks awesome. But dude, That little bitty 235 just looks so badass. It kind of gives that little squatty look on a car, and it just looks
Yeah.
fast.
I'm pretty sure Goldstone's 4-link brackets would drag on the ground if we put 235s on it, though. So,
Well, yeah, because it's built for a 37-inch tall tire,
yeah,
36-inch tall tire.
exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that 4-link bracket drag. So,
That's awesome.
no, the 235s are sweet, man. I think everybody should give them a shot.
Well, talk to us a little bit about doing the mullet build for Cleetus and how that went.
So, Cameron Johnson reached out to me a couple months prior and was like, "Hey, we're redoing Mullet. I don't know if you've seen." I said, "Sorry, Cameron, I don't watch anything." So, no, I didn't even know you were working on it. And then I got a call from Zach. Zach, boy. I would call him Cleetus's boy. He's really Tonsky's boy. I've known Zach for a long time. Zach Walker, and we talked about it. And he's like, "We really want to do it." I said, "Okay." And then that was like months and months ago. And I was like, "Well, just let me know when, like, if this is actually going to happen or not." Because the way things go with a lot of jobs like that is like, yeah, we should be done around this time, or we should be done around this time. And then it's like, hey, we're gonna have it done in 3 days. Can you know what I mean? Like, you don't hear from them for 2 months, and then they're like. So anyway, Garrett called me, or Cleetus called me, and was like, "Hey, buddy, you want to do this?" I said, "Sure." So he he had Cameron brought it on up. Um, Originally, the plan was to try to make FL2K, but they brought it to us 3.5 days before before FL2K, and I was like, "Buddy, thankfully, Cameron Johnson jumped on that grade for us and made the post and the video that said, like, we're not going to FL2K." And he was right by doing that because it would have been a safety thing. Um, there was just too many things that were just, not all the way done. You know what I mean? So there's no point in rushing a car like that for that. So, car came. I had planned So I was talking to one of Cameron's guys. I can't remember. Man, I'm so terrible at this. I'm so bad at names. He sent me basically like a parts list of what they had and a bunch of pictures inside of the car and like electronics panels um, and I knew exactly what we had to put in the car. So for like a week and a half or so prior to the car getting there, I worked on all the layout and paperwork stuff so that it could be a seamless, like quick, let's get all that stuff out of the way. You know what I mean? So when the car showed up, I already had all the bulkhead connectors in stock for exactly what we needed. I knew by like Justin, Daniel, our two employees, and myself all studied pictures of underneath the hood of the car before it got here, and we had a layout idea of like, okay, we put this here, we put this here, we put that there. So that takes a day out of the equation. You know what I mean? Like that saves us a day because if you can go into something with a plan, like a articulated plan, you can cut down a lot of time. When the car just shows up and you've never seen it before, you're like, well, what do we do? And it's always I don't know. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? What do you think of this? And it takes a day. So we cut that day out. We hammered down on that thing from Laura will probably chime in. I was out in the shop by about 5:30 every morning, and I was in my shop until about 1 o'clock every morning. So yeah, and my guys, our guys, Justin Arnold and Daniel Williams, they both did a fantastic job. They busted ass. They worked late nights with us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish what we did. No, I'm not going to say that.
I mean,
accomplish it. It just would have taken longer. You know what I mean? But we wouldn't have been able to accomplish what we did in the time frame that we did. It was, and I honestly am very proud of what we were able to accomplish in 90 days. That was a ton of work. And if you guys chimed in or followed along on my YouTube channel, you could probably tell the amount of work involved.
Yeah, it was insane to watch it. And again, I appreciate y'all doing that. I love that shit. people get really scared of wiring, but I think it's one of the coolest things that you can do from that side. And plumbing, there's so much forward thought that goes into that. Like just talking about where you're going to put stuff and how the wiring will route was one of the early parts of the videos that I really enjoyed. Was like, hey, we're going to put all this here and it's going to go this way, and bulkhead plugins and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. I enjoyed that series a lot.
So something funny I got to bring up. I have a friend who he wires race cars for a living now, and I've kind of built him, if you will, right? He calls me his father, his wiring father. Great dude. He's a friend of mine. And he does great work, right? And he really does. And he'll send me pictures of jobs that he just finished up, and then I'll send him pictures of jobs that we just finished up or whatever. And every single time he always says the same thing. He's like, "Why does the layout on the cars that you do look so much better than mine?" And I'm like, "It's not that they look better. Well, they do, but like, uh, that's just a little dig at him. But it's that it. I have to explain this to like our newest employee Daniel all the time. It takes years to be able to look at a car and figure out to have a vision of what it's going to look like when it's all done, and understand how big things are and how small things are when it's all done. So like some of those harnesses that we built, like there's I think the one trunk that goes across the firewall's got like 144 conductors in it. So like having an idea of how big that's going to be, and then how out of a turn radius it's going to have, like there's a lot of thought that I put into it prior to go, okay, this is not going to turn this way and look good. Just can't make bend. So we have to take a different approach, or like everything's got to, I don't know. It's nerdy shit that most people don't want to hear about, um, but it was a good job. I mean, it came out great. I'm very happy with how it came out. Cleetus and all of his boys loved it. And it fired right off, and we fired it up on methanol first, and we fired it up on pump gas, and ran good. Brought it down to him. So Cleetus, Garrett, whatever you want to call him, is one of the hardest working dudes I've ever met in my life. Most people wouldn't believe that, but the reality is that he is an extremely hardworking and solid good dude, right? Like all around. Like, and this isn't me kissing ass or anything, because I don't care. It's not who I am. But he is a genuinely great person as well. He when I say hard work, I text him and say, "Hey, I got a question. I want to look at this thing. This is my plan." I'd send that message at maybe 8 o'clock at night. He'd reply at 1:30 in the morning. "Hey, just left the shop, driving home to edit video. That looks great. Do you need me to call you?" I'd reply with, "No, that's good. As long as you're good, I'm good with it." The one night he texts me back and he says, "Why are you still up?" I said, "Why are you still up?" He's like, "Never mind."
Yeah.
I send him a text message, and then I get a text message back from him at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. He's up. He's working. That dude works nonstop. So it was pretty cool. I like working for people who appreciate what we do, and he was very appreciative of what we did. So then we took the car down to Florida, and just kind of turned and burned when we delivered the car down to Florida, and then came home. Then it caught fire.
Yeah, it got it on fire.
I'm sure everybody was sitting around waiting to hear this one. So it caught fire. So let me tell you, fire is my biggest fear, right? So I didn't have my phone on me when they called me, when Garrett or when Cleetus called me. And so I had this missed call from Cleetus. Then I had a missed call from Zach. Then I had another missed call from Cleetus. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll call back in order. So I called Cleetus back, and he's like, "Hey, buddy." I say, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Now, mind you, I've been talking to them for the past 2 days because they've been testing. And he's like, "Everything's perfect, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, all right. It almost got to the point where we talked often, where it was almost like, well, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, what? I'm busy. I'm sorry, but what do you want? He's like, man, it caught fire. And I'm like, what caught fire? He's like, the car. And I'm like, what car? It's like Mullet. I'm like, how? So so they figured, like, it was oil, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff, and then there whatever, metal in a fuel system. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and and Garrett said it best. It's no one's fault. Let's just fix it, right? So the good news was that oil burns, obviously, but it's kind of slow burner, right? And it didn't burn all the way through any lines, any hoses. So it kind of just smoldered, right? Um, which is good, because otherwise we could have had a real big problem on our hands.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so there was no oil lines, and there was no fuel lines that actually burned through, which was great. Um, the damage was very, very, very. So I had to teach a class. I guess that was last weekend, not the one that just passed the weekend before. I had to teach a class that weekend. They called me Thursday or Wednesday or something when it got caught on fire. And I was like, and all I could think about was, like, what did we screw up? And he's like, you didn't screw up anything. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, dude, there's oil underneath the intake, and it's been like this for years. What I was told over the phone was the reason it caught on fire is because we forgot to put the pig mats under the intake. And I'm like, what? And I didn't realize that there was this problem. I had no idea. Well, okay, whatever. So I had to teach a class that weekend. Otherwise, I would have had them bring me the car like Thursday morning. Um, so I talked to Zach, and Zach was like, "Why don't you order up? Like, here's some fittings that we need." And the right, so dumb. Uh, but so I ordered a bunch of different fittings that we thought I might need, and Zach came, hung out for the day, and we knocked it out in a day. We fired it up
Well,
and hit the road.
and I think that's one thing that I liked about it. You were essentially talking about how everything is just it's a harness that you unplug it from the firewall, you can unplug it from up here, pull the motor. It really made it a lot more modular, and I would think that would kind of help the repair a little bit. Probably not,
Oh,
but
absolutely, yeah.
and you knew what was in that harness. A lot of people wire cars. I'm going to run this red wire from the power to this power, and then I'm going to run this red wire from here to the power.
Oh, oh, but there's no way that would work with me. No, no. Yeah, no. I do an unbelievably in-depth amount of meditation, and really a lot of that is that if you think about it, you're almost like triple checking your work before you've even cut a single wire. You find like, if you do enough of this, if you document stuff thoroughly enough, you'll find missteps along the way before you've even cut a single wire, and you fix it before you even cut a single wire. So um, I have to accredit the thought process of doing the work early, to the motorsports wiring people. Like I got a friend by the name of Joel Vince. He owns Race Spec. He's been a big encourager of taking the processes that I do. He's been very helpful. And he does like a lot of Motec work, and he's the top of the game. You know what I mean? Like, he's the great dude. Um, Sometimes makes bad decisions in music taste, but great dude. Really smart, and he's pushed me to be better. And I think that the better you get at documenting, and it could be anything. Like, it's not just wiring, it's not just plumbing. If you're building a car, right? Like, think about making a list of all the things that you need to do. Well, you make a list because you're walking around the car and you're going in circles, and you're like, oh, need to do that, and you add it on there. Now take that list and organize it in the order of importance. Then take that list and organize it in cost, and then organize it in order of operation. And I bet you find flaws in your plan that save you money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And tons of time. You know, a lot of people build reactionary, you know, like, oh man, I have a little bit of money, I'll buy this part because I can afford to spend this $400 on this part. But if you just saved for another 2 weeks, you could have gotten the part that you needed to work on to continue the process on.
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, planning. I think planning and everything when it comes to building a race car or street car or drag and drive car, whatever you're building, is number one. That is number one in my opinion. It's like Ryan just mentioned something about like I had a 2-day class at EFI tuning training class, you know, on the dyno and whatnot, and and a lot of what I preach on there is like, man, if you plan out what you're going to do with the car and build a tune up from scratch that like you've never done before, but you know going into it what you've built, your engine and all that, you can be pretty damn close. And I proved it out in that class. Like we always prove them out in all of our classes. Like, you know, it's like build the tune up the way I told you to do it, and it's going to fire right up. It's going to run, idle, take throttle. And then we immediately took I went around the room in our class and I was like, all right, I highlighted an area of the fuel map and I was like, how much fuel does it need about here? And I just pointed at somebody. I was like, what do you think? You like that? I don't know. Okay, sounds good. We'll throw that amount of fuel right there. And he's like, and walking out to the dyno, everyone's like, there's no way this car's going to start and run. And it fired right up. So I took 15 different opinions, but everybody was very much in line because we just spent the last day and a half talking about it and teaching it. Fired it up. And then the first pull, I think we made like 1,090 rear wheel horsepower with the car.
Come on.
And I didn't touch it. I was like, y'all realize that I didn't do anything with this tune up. And they're like, yep, okay, let's roll. Ripped it.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like 1,100 horsepower. You know what I mean? So so to, you know, again, a lot of that is all about planning though. It's all about, you know, if you plan out your next drag and drive event, if you want to be competitive, here's a tip. If you want to be competitive and you want to try to win your class or win the event or whatever it is, plan each day how you're going to go about each day. And another thing that I think is really important that I think a lot of people in drag and drive kind of miss, well, they miss testing for sure, but pick a number, pick an ET that you're happy with. And then race your own race. Don't race the guy next to you. Don't race the other guy in your class. Don't worry about him. Race your race. If you've got a car, like right now, I think one of the hottest like heads up classes is probably the one that Deals are in and Doug Cook's in and all them. What is it? Super Street? Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the most exciting to me, at least. You know, like I think that's probably the most exciting because it's all small tire cars and it's stock suspension and you know what I mean. So, if you say, "Hey, I have to outrun whoever's the class winner from last year," and you don't have a car that can do that, there's no point in picking that number, right? Because then you can never leave the racetrack. So when we go to a drag and drive, we'll discuss it and say, okay, what's the ET that we need to run in order to say we're leaving and we're going on to the next track. You know what I mean? Yep. So like if that number's 7-0 in the quarter, okay. Once it goes 709, pack up, leave. Don't go try to get another one. So pick your number before you even pull in the gate. And if you pick your number before you pull in the gate, the whole week goes a lot easier.
Well, and man, that would save people so many hours and hours and hours of time. Because you could, if you ran like a 709, you're like, hey, I'm happy with that. I'm getting out of here. Instead of, man, it ran 709. If I wait just a little bit and can get another round, maybe I can go 704 or 699. And then you end up blowing the tires off and you've wasted 4 hours.
Yeah. Like that's the worst. That's the worst spot, right? Like, isn't that the worst, right? Like you got you okay, we went 709, could have loaded up and just hit the road at 11 o'clock in the morning and had a nice, easy breezy drive. But instead we were stupid and decided that we thought that at 3 in the afternoon, 90 degrees in direct sunlight, we were going to go 699. You should have just taken it and been like, hell yeah, let's go get like something good to eat for lunch and have a nice relaxing drive and enjoy it. Fighting on that number before you even start the event is the move. Yeah. That's important to me. That one's very important to me. So We're
Well,
gonna shoot.
that's kind of a
We're gonna shoot for that number to be very, very fast next year.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about what you're doing with the Motion Raceworks Pumpkin Spice Fox Body.
Right now, I'm waiting for them to figure out what we're doing with when it's done. It's done. It's running as much as it's going to run with me. It has a fuel injection system on it that I am not a huge fan of, uh, and we wired it up and fixed some plumbing stuff with it, and we were able to implement a lot of really cool new products from Motion Raceworks in this car. Kind of got to play with some stuff that isn't released yet, and
Oh, like what?
I can't tell you. I didn't have. I'll say this: I didn't have to sign an NDA with Doug. He just knew that I wouldn't say anything, But I've had to sign non-disclosure agreements with quite a few other companies. So we are fortunate in that we get to play with a lot of cool new stuff that comes out well before it gets released to the public. And the boys over there at Motion and Rife, they came up with some pretty cool stuff, and it's very nice, and it worked out really, really well, and I think everybody's going to really like it. So, but Doug came to me and said, so that it has a Fuel Tech ECU in it, and we're known for being Holly EFI, and I am pro Holly EFI all the way. Wait, Nick, I knew it. I knew it. The moment the word came out of my mouth, I knew Nick would be right there. Yeah, Fuel Tech everywhere. He probably just right now. He's in the mirror flexing with the hat on right now. Like just, anyway, he came to me and he said, listen, man, I think that you need to install this. It's a better move for business. It doesn't really matter what you like. It's a better move for business. And I think that if you install it and you learn it a little bit, it'll grow your whatever, our clientele base. And he wanted me to get pushed into a different part of racing that we're not really in, right? It's like the pro mod world, right? And basically him and Brett were both like, we see too many pro mods at the racetrack. We're like, shit. Like they're shit. So they're like, we know you do good work, so just do it. And then you can start wiring some of these pro mods. I was glad he pushed me out of my comfort zone because you need that every now and again. You know what I mean? Like you really do. So that's funny. So the taking that push from a friend led us to doing a fuel tech installation, and it started up a little bit of backlash and whatever. Not from me, but from people that commented on stuff, and I got calls from people at Fuel Tech and said, come on, man, like this isn't me, like it's not my fault, blame somebody else. EFI wars are real, right? It's real. It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's and I'm biased, obviously, but I'm also educated. So I have my bias is from experience and from an educational standpoint. So whatever. But
Well,
I'm glad we did it.
right. And you talk about pro mod and wiring and stuff, man. Wiring is so it's such a niche market that if you are good at it, you can be as busy for as long as you want. Because Keith Haney's having a new car built. He only has one guy to do the wiring. That guy is 6 months after the car's built is the earliest he can get the car into wire.
Yep.
Like, I think that's probably normal across the board for any high level wiring and plumbing team.
Yeah. So we typically stay anywhere between 6 and 9 months booked out. And there's 3 of us here that work here. Well, there's 4 of us that work here, but 3 of us are working on the cars. I feel like we do things to a different level of detail than the majority. And that's not a dig at anybody. It's just that's who I am. You know what I mean? Like I have a level of detail that most people don't, and which is okay. They make more money than we do. I promise. You make more money when you can do jobs in and out quick than being extremely detail oriented, because you give away a lot of time when you're like me. So,
Yeah.
um,
Wow.
okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
so we're 6
So
months now, right?
right.
Yeah.
So think about that. That's a great conversation to have with people. If you want to make summer and you want Devin to wire your car, you need to make that call now.
Yep.
Because March 2026 is by the end of next week will be April of 2026 in May. And
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
car can take some time to get done. They're not all done in 10 days.
No, if we were to do like Mullet, and like he was just like, hey, it shows up and we got it however long we need, we would book that job. We would tell you I need the car for a month. We would be able to get the job done in about 2.5 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, but we always tell people longer than just because like there's parts holdups and whatnot. But
Yeah.
just in case if we're waiting on something, I don't want to be, hey, you told me 2 weeks, like why isn't it done yet? So, but yeah, no, we say booked up, but we get cars that come to us from all over the country, which is really humbling. Like we've done them so we're in South Carolina. We get lots of cars from Florida, Texas, Colorado, Indiana, Illinois, Maine, um,
Wow.
all over the country. Uh, you know, all over the country, which is it's cool to know that these people traveled really far to bring us a car. And uh, yeah, like right now she's got a whole bunch of pending estimates. So if they book with us, we're booked done through June. You know what I mean? She just started sending those out like I think yesterday or the day before. So
Easy.
like that's what
Woo!
happens. And so our yeah, the thing though that's weird about like some people may be watching this and go, man, I should get into wiring cars because there's obviously demand. Yes and no. Man, you go from being booked until June to man, 5 people just had to move their scheduled appointment
Mhm.
all in the same 2 month period, and now you've got nothing to do
Yeah.
because all 5 of those people, their cars ain't done from the chassis shop or waiting on an engine or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's very fluid. Like our schedule is very fluid.
Yeah. So
Um,
what you're saying is small business ownership and building cars is very tough.
buddy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, all right.
So
I want to ask this, and then we'll move on. I promise.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Brandon Parker, my left-handed, right-hand man for the short circuit coming up this weekend, said, "What have you yet to implement, or what do you see as the next set of must-haves for Dragon Drive builds?"
Hmm. Um. I think that there's something that's in the works that my employee is working on a side project business for himself that I think is going to wind up being something that's extremely popular in the drag and drive world, but I don't want to comment about what it is because somebody else might try to work on it and beat him to it, and I don't want to
Mm,
do that. Right.
yeah.
So that's something for a car. Okay. Um, I think that I think that we, if you're into this stuff and you want to make your car cooler or make your car easier to work with or easier to survive a drag and drive, we need to start looking at um, endurance racing cars and uh, you know Formula One, road race, not Formula One, but like road race
Mm,
cars, stuff like that. There's a lot of things that they do that drag racers don't, streetcar people don't. And um, this isn't something that we would implement, but I think that the next big step for the really fast drag and drive cars is going to be aero. I think
mm.
that's the next step. The really fast drag and drive cars is going to be aero. Is going to be
Like big
worked out.
wings.
Mm, no, but paying attention more to aerodynamics, I think, is going to be where people really start to see improvements now. Because, but as far as implementation, I don't know, man. We've done a lot of really cool stuff. Like we've done
Mhm.
a lot of really cool automation with things. Um,
Dude,
I don't.
the five-way button on Cleetus is on the Mullet. Fuck, that is awesome.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah,
if the
that's easy
CO2 is not
programmable.
on, the dome light won't turn off. And like what? are you talking
You know
about?
what's funny is everybody watched the video where he was like, "Yeah, that's exactly how I want it. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy." And you know what happened? Hey, my line lock don't work. I get a phone call. Line lock don't work, and I'm like, "You sure?" Oh, dang, you're right. Sorry. Okay, bye. It's like
Yeah.
because you forget. You have to do it a couple. Once you get a little bit of in it, you know what I mean? Like uh,
Yep.
but no, we've been fortunate to be able to like kind of, and a lot of it's just by testing stuff with my own personal car. You know what I mean? Um, but we've done a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to the drag and drive world of cars. Like I think I was the first one with the air jacks in the drag and drive world,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
And now they've become pretty popular. Like,
Yeah. 100.
yeah, they're like
Goldstone's new car has them on it. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming in the next few years because people
they're on the
realize, like,
Javelin too.
yeah, they don't that 40 pounds isn't going to really change their game.
Without plumbing, it's 25.5 pounds.
Wow.
Without plumbing. If you use the plumbing that they provide, it's like 26.5 pounds because the plumbing that they provide is like push lock, super light. You know what I mean? You're talking
Wow.
about 26 pounds plus a couple tabs. So call it 30 pounds total. And
Yeah.
you've got a car off the ground in 10 seconds that's safe. You know, it's a no
And
brainer.
you're not hauling projects in the trailer to do all that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I dropped a Pro Jack the reason that I have air jacks is because I bought Pro Jack and I bought a Pro Jack holder for my enclosed race car trailer. Just had shoulder surgery. And I've wanted air jacks for like ever since I saw them in like, road race cars. I was like, oh, I need to have them. But I bought these Pro Jacks and I just had shoulder surgery. Pick up these stupid Pro Jacks, right? And it slipped out of my hand because I had no upper left extremity basically. And it slipped out of my hand, lands on my toe, hits the wall of the trailer and scratches it, and dents the piss out of my beautiful aluminum floor of my trailer. They landed on the ground. One project landed on the ground. I was so mad. I took a picture of it right where it landed. Right. I went on to Facebook and I said, I'm not picking these back up. They're going to sit right here with the back door of this trailer wide open. I just paid $3,000 for these pieces of shit. You can come get right now for $2,000. They're brand new, and I've even got all this extra stuff to go with them.
Oh,
And I had a guy here in 2 hours who picked them up.
wow.
And when he got here, he was like, he's like, so this is, I said, I'm not touching. He said, what do you mean? I said, I don't even want to look at him.
I don't want to look at them.
It just broke my friggin' toe, scratched the wall of my trailer, dented the floor of my trailer. I hate these stupid things. The next day, I ordered air jacks, and I called Matt, and I'm like, hey, buddy, I just bought something, and I don't know if you're gonna love me about this or not. We're gonna figure it out. So
That is too cool.
yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of really smart guys that do this kind of stuff because you kind of have to be smart to build something that's going to survive doing this type of stuff. You got to be smarter to do this than you are to just go drag racing because it's, you know what I mean? It's different. It's endurance and it's, really fast acceleration. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to wind up seeing some cool stuff over the next couple of years, especially as new people get involved. More and more new people get involved. Um, I think that we're going to see more cool stuff come into play in the drag and drive world.
Man, bring it on. I'm ready.
Same.
All right, Eric, let's ask that last bit and then we'll let him go. We've kept him a long time.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up with talking about your event coming up here soon. So tell us a little bit about Street and Yeet, new track you got, and your famous taco party.
So this is really Laura's event, my wife. I gave it her as a gift because I don't want to do it, you know. No, because she's better at it, you know. So it's an all eighth mile drag and drive. So all of our racing's eighth mile. Um, the tracks are always pretty good. The drives are shorter than the majority. Most of our drives are around 100 to 130 or 40 miles. Laura can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, we're way more laid back. Our focus is to have a lot more fun than we are, being sticklers for nitpicking every single little detail about people, because nobody has fun when they go through tech and they're all stressed. Our event is we give you way more stuff than anybody. So
Yeah.
this morning, Laura had her, Josh's wife Leslie come down, and a good friend of ours, Emily, come down, and they spent the morning going through all the T-shirts and sweatshirts. So, like with registration, everybody gets a T-shirt, including the co-driver, pilot, whatever, and everybody gets a sweatshirt, including the co-pilot.
Oh
And
wow.
then the reason being is because last year or the year before, whatever, last year I think it was, everybody bitching about how cold it was. So Laura's like, well, not allowed to bitch anymore because you get a sweatshirt. So shut up. You know, that's the way we look at it. We are, yeah. I mean, everybody that's been to our typically has very similar things to say. That is a great time. Um, the uh, the the drives are short. We have a taco truck and a margarita setup that everybody's included with entry and everything. I don't know. We just try. We give back every single dime that comes in. So registration, it's obviously over now. But I mean, when we do registration, I'll just give you the behind the scenes. Money comes in, and we're like, okay, we have to pay this much to the tracks. This year, we're doing the like your registration covers your entry. You don't have to do it like to racetracks. Prior, our registration was substantially cheaper, and you had to pay at the racetrack. I did like that idea, but a lot of people kind of got pissy with that. So we decided, okay, we have to up our registration fee. Sorry about it, but now you don't have to pay the gate fee at the racetrack, which is the way everybody else does it. We should have just followed the leader years ago, but whatever.
It's just easier to
Now,
drive through with your wristband showing.
it is the way I was looking at it though was like, well, if you break on
Yep.
day zero, you just saved yourself some money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I'm with you. It's
you
just what
know,
I would love to see the deals come down and play at your event. I
yeah,
think they would be
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. I'd love to have them down. We're radial friendly. The all of the racetracks that we go to are all radial friendly. And let's see, so all the money, so as money comes in from registration, we literally go, okay, this, and this has to go to the racetrack. This has to pay for the food. This has to pay for the booze. This has to pay for the for all the awards, for all the T-shirts, for all the sweatshirts. What do we have left? All right, we got X amount of dollars left. Let's figure out how we're going to do payouts for each class. And we literally take out whatever we got left. I think we usually leave $1,000 in the account so that we can cover, because we give out like drinks during the whole week. Like there's coolers full of drinks, and like one day we'll cook or something to make sure everybody's got something to drink whenever they need it. Stay hydrated. Um, so we give back every dime that we get in. Everybody that does this event that helps us, volunteers, they're all friends of ours that have been awesome. We could not do this event without them. Um, this year's going to be a little bit different, and I hope that everything goes smooth. Laura is in a different health. She's not in the greatest health at the moment. She has to have a surgery here, hopefully soon. Um, so she's not really allowed to be stressed or work too hard.
Nice.
So
Nothing like going into 6 days before an event and having that.
yeah,
Yeah.
she won't have surgery until after the event, just because it's gonna be it's a big deal. She's made it public, but she has to have heart surgery, so it's a big deal. I've been a mess about it, and she's been doing great, and she's not, she's okay,
Yep.
but hopefully anybody watching that's at our event, and I'll say this on day zero, and I'll say it in our drivers meeting on day one. If anybody has a problem, you bring it to me. If I find out that you bring it to her and you're aggressive about it, I will physically remove you from the premises.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to tolerate anybody, jumping her ass about it.
Yeah.
It's just not worthwhile, especially in the condition she's in. So it's going to be a little different because normally Laura's running around and she's very chipper and she's very helpful with everybody, and she'll still be chipper. She'll still be very helpful. She's just not going to be running around. So I have to run around. So everybody's going to have to learn to love me. And that is going to be really tough for all of our competitors and everybody that shows up, because I don't think I'm that easy. So, but we're hopeful.
One thing you did during 2023 was my last year at Street and Eaton. 26, I'm coming back, but 23, you did a daily driver meeting. I really enjoyed that. It was kind of like, hey, this is how this is where the pull off to the track is. This is where we're at. It really worked well. I feel like there was a lot of thought that went into that event. And, dude, it's only gotten bigger since then, so it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think that the quick 5 minutes of like, hey, everybody, just pay attention for 5 minutes, we can get to it, saves us like an hour throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and plus, like, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want anybody to blow up their stuff. I don't want anybody to break. I don't want anybody to have a bad time. I want everybody to have a blast. I want my goal and first goal is that when everybody leaves and is driving home, I want everybody to say, God dang, there is nobody out there that wanted us to have more fun than the people that put the event on. And because I don't want anybody to ever leave our event and go, God, that sucked, blah, 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 F them, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Like, we're hopeful that everybody's, and I don't care if everybody comes back or not. I really don't. But I want everybody to know that we gave it 110% effort to give them the best experience that we could. So that's what our goal is. We started doing this strictly because I felt as if we have so many racetracks here. It's like, why don't we have a drag and drive here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's 34 racetracks in a 4-hour radius of us.
Damn, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, like, that's stupid.
I think there's 3 or 4 in a 4-hour radius of me.
Like, I have a racetrack that's 12 minutes from my house. Yeah. Like, if I charge my scooter up fully, I could scoot there, no problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's so we have so many racetracks around here, and racing's a huge part of the South. So why not? Yeah, and Greer is the new track. Greer is one of our local tracks that it's about 45 minutes from my house. Awesome. Greer is awesome because Greer is smack dab in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in the outskirts. Like, it's in the middle of town. Like, if you forgot something and you go to the gas station, it's a mile away.
Yeah, which is so strange. Like, for it to be right there.
Very cool, and it's a super nice track. And Mike and his daughter Alicia that run the place, they're awesome people to deal with. So we love going racing there. So should be cool. Everybody come on out, check it out. Should have a blast.
Right. Well, last thing here, would you take people day of, or you if they haven't pre-registered? Sorry. Cool.
I don't sure. You know what I mean? If somebody makes commitment and drives all the way here, you know what I mean, and is planning on racing with us for a couple days, yeah, come on. You know what I mean? I'm not going to turn anybody away. Now, I will say that if 400 people show up,
I'm gonna have to make a decision.
Bear with me here a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have to work on this, but I don't foresee that happening. But no, we won't turn anybody away. I mean, I still hold the right to refuse service, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But we won't turn anybody away who shows up on day 0. So, if you want to come, have fun, and play by the rules. We also have a different policy than most too about protesting and cheating. I don't know if you remember this one.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody protests, we have to front $100. We take your $100. We investigate your protest. If they're found to be cheating, we take their $100 from them. You know what I mean? Or we give their $100 back to them, right? And the person that's cheating, we don't throw them out of the event. Okay, we don't. We move into a class that they can't win. I ridicule them daily. Okay. And then we make it a point that every time they go and make passes down the racetrack, that we have the announcer make up something random about them, so it's on the live stream. And I
That's
believe
awesome.
that is a better way, in my opinion, to handle cheating. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And they still get to have a good time and have fun and finish the week, you know?
Right, exactly. I still want them to. I still want them to be with us. I don't want them to leave. I don't want them to not have a good time. I just want to have them have a good time, also at their own expense, because they're
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah. And Rye Klemp, who was making comments in here earlier, is the announcer and does a great job.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
always a lot of fun. Lastly, Spooled Media is running the live stream, so you guys can watch it next week on Spooled Media on YouTube. I know it's where I'll be glued as I'm doing work, getting ready for the Drag and Drive Awards at PRI.
Yeah, yeah. Something we didn't talk about. I'm just gonna throw this out here before we get off. That new car of mine. That new car of mine will be in PRI at the Holly booth.
Oh
It
yeah.
was supposed to go to PRI. We weren't going to be going to PRI because of Laura's surgery deal, and then some things got moved by her doctor. And my best friend Josh said, "Man, I'll take the car to PRI even if you don't go." So Holly, another company asked me uh, to bring the car to PRI, and we unfortunately we told them no. And then about a week and a half later, all this other stuff transpired, and I was like, well. Then Holly asked me, and I was like, okay, well, we'll bring it there. So we'll be in the Holly booth at PRI.
Dude, is that 2 years in a row?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn, son. Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hard doing this to
We had 14 companies ask us to put this new car in booth.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's quite the you know what I mean? It's quite the humbling thing, you know. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people didn't realize how nice that convertible was until they saw it at PRI, and they were like, "God
Yeah.
dang, this thing is gorgeous!" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
The so yeah, come on out to the Holly booth and check it out. I'll be stopping by and hanging out with you because if I make it to PRI, I've already made this deal with myself that I'm not going to spend all day in the Holly booth.
What?
So
Yeah, bring it on, dude. We'll fire the live stream up and talk shit and heckle people as they come by. That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm good at that.
Yeah, right. That'll be awesome. Listen, thank you for coming on tonight, dude. Spent 2 hours with us, man. We could go probably another 2 at least. Your wealth of knowledge, a ton of fun stories. So thank you for coming on tonight.
Cool, man. No problem. Thanks for having me, and we'll see you at PRI.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys don't already know, you can follow Devin at HCR Innovations on Facebook. You can follow him, Devin Vanderhoof, on YouTube. I think the title is HCR Innovations, but your channel name pulls up under Devin Vanderhoof. Anyways, I love it. I love the channel. I love what you guys are doing over there. It's just for a dude that wants to do that kind of stuff but can't find the time. It's an awesome watch.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
I need to put it up on the wall in the shop and work while I'm, watching it instead of sitting working here on my computer. But anyways, all right, dude. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. See you guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man. See you. Dude, what a fun show. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Man, that guy, we need to have him on more often.
It's just, gets my mind turning every time I listen to him talk about wiring.
Well, and the cool thing is, like, spending time on that stuff is the best thing you can do. Plus, like, listen, if I had to find a wire in the old truck that burned because of that, I'd have to run it from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, so just that kind of stuff really helps. I mean, that's really a great thought process and behind that. And, they went next level with the mullet stuff. And, I don't know. Anyways, love it. Good time.
Yeah, I could spend a week just watching him work at his shop and learn. Would be awesome.
Yeah, tons of fun. Thanks again to Performabuilt. That was the segment that they sponsor here every week. We appreciate them and all the help they give, man. That we got to have Ryan back on here soon too. I was hoping he was going to be at PRI. Sadly, he will not be there, so we'll have to get up there again. I should have went by there at Drag Week, but man, I hate I missed it. But if you guys need a GM transmission, 4L80s, 4L60s, turbo 400s, turbo 350s. They are GM specialists. They make those things live forever and ever behind some big power stuff. So, all right, sir, we'll send us out, man.
Well, once again, appreciate everybody that was in here tonight. We had tons of views, tons of comments. You know, everybody wanting to tune in to gain that knowledge from Devin, which was awesome. Appreciate each and every one of you, our race car friends, for hanging in here for 2.5 hours with us tonight. And as always, we cannot do this without these sponsors. If there's anything you guys need, please check out these companies. We've got affiliate links. We've got discount codes. If you just need a contact person at one of these companies, reach out to us. Thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performa-Built Transmission, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And everybody that is going to be at the short circuit this weekend, have a ton of fun. Mike, I hope you guys have an amazing event. I'm sorry that I can't be there, but it's going to be awesome.
I'm really sad, dude. To be honest, I'm sad. It's just, again, the way the scheduling worked. And hey, if we had known about this event, you know, more than 4 weeks ago, we probably could have planned around it.
Yeah, but you know what? The way it played out is working perfect, and you're going to have 60 plus cars in a matter of 3-4 weeks is awesome. So.
Well, and for the folks that are still on here, I want to say thanks. And I'll tell you this much, the outpouring of support from this event has definitely, I'm just going to say it to these folks, we're probably doing one in 26 late in the year, a short one like this. I think this is going to be really fun. I may hate it, absolutely hate it. I don't know, but I think it's really going to be a blast to have something that's so much more laid back than what, you know, the circuit's hard. Like it's a ton of work on Eric and I's side to get people, you know, in and out and talk to so many folks and all that kind of stuff. I think this is going to be way more laid back. So anyways, probably do the news on Sunday, maybe. I don't know. Eric and I'll talk about that throughout the next couple of days to see when we can, because Saturday morning we're going to be at Waffle House in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and then doing a dragon drive. So it's going to be kind of fun.
So we'll see you when we see you next.
Yeah, right. Bye.
See ya.
How fun. Oh, there's